Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Hangout here with Astropinner. For those who do not know me, my name is Liam. Um, this is a Hangout, casual, easygoing, where I myself and other makers come in and we chat. We talk about what projects we're working on. Let me move my screen a little bit, my camera. There we go. We talk about the projects we're working on. We talk about what our plans are. Everybody's welcome to come in and join in the conversation. Please. I am careful about who I let into the stream, so especially if I know you, it's easy to get in. Um, Please make sure if you haven't already done, like, subscribe, and ding that bell so you know that we know when I go live, and it helps support the channel. And hit that thumbs up because those thumbs up helps with the Google algorithms. Okay, so we already have some guys hanging out ready to come in and chat. So the timing was perfect because Jerry just got his coffee. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy 3D printing. What's going on?
Just hit the button as Jerry walked in and sat down with his cup of coffee in his hand.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
What's going on? I can use the screen for a mirror to get my hat right.
Yeah, that works.
Welcome. What's going on?
Who's in chat. Let's go see who's in chat. Okay, so we have, hey, Nonfam, how are you? Nonfam saying hi to everybody. Jerry saying hi to himself and everybody else as well. Kieran, hey, Kieran, how are you? How's things down under?
Congrats, you got the stickers after a month of waiting. I was concerned they were lost. Glad you got them, Kieran.
Yep. Let's see. Kieran, Nonfam. I'm going to skip past most of this chat to see who's in here. Let's see. Sergio. Hey, Sergio. How's life?
Hey, Sergio.
Kieran. Gary. Hey, Gary. Welcome.
Hello.
Breakor. Hey, Justin.
What's going on?
Jason. How's life?
Hey, Jason M., the tech guy.
Hey, Loopy in the other room behind Matt. Hey, Stephen. How are you again? You were on my stream on Saturday. Half of you guys were on my stream or last week. Dwayne, how's life treating you?
What's up, Dwayne?
Let's see who else is in there. Local Maker, Michigan. Hey, man, how are you?
Local Maker, Ram Design, Betty Boo.
Betty, how are you?
What's up, Betty Boo?
Hey, Ram Design. How's life?
How you doing?
Let's see who else is in here. I think I said hi to everybody. And Betty said you haven't killed him yet. Well, that's a good sign. The fact that he's on screen kind of proves that.
Since he's been back, I've been trying to be very nice. So, yeah.
Good man. If he steps out of line, Betty, let us know. We'll sort him out for you.
Yeah, crack the whip. I have some experience of that now.
Sergio. So, what's everybody working on?
Well, I'm doing a do-it-yourself DIY laser project since no one sent me one to review. I do have a K40 that I bought that I work with, but I've been trying to get a review unit from somebody. It hasn't happened, so I had a Comgrow laser they sent me like 6 months ago to review. It would not work on my Ender 3, would not work with any software. So I got on Ziltech's website. They sell tons of extrusion any size you want, pre-cut. I got some 500 millimeter extrusion. Dan showed me a link over on Thingiverse where I printed out some connectors and things out of white PETG from Ziltech. And then I had an old Ender 3 laying around in parts, so I just kind of robbed from Peter to pay Paul, basically, and built me a little laser. And I forgot to order the power brick for it, so I got to wait till tomorrow, and then I'll get it plugged in, and we'll try it out. And a little bit I'll show you to sit behind me. Here's kind of a sneak peek. You want to make me big for a minute?
Yeah, let me put it on the main screen.
You can see it there.
We'll have to do a close-up of it later on. Oh, yeah, I saw the pictures on it. So the board is basically two steppers and a nano, correct?
Yeah, it's got two plugs for a laser, but my plug is just a positive and negative, so it goes in this terminal instead of this other one. I'm not going to put a fan on it yet. I air assist for now. I'm just going to get it running, see how it does. It's a 500 milliwatt laser, so it's a very small laser. We'll have to see how well it does, and then I can go from there.
So it's a 500 milliwatt. If it's 500, that's half a watt. So it will engrave wood. It will do engraving. It won't do cutting, but it will do engraving.
So we'll see we'll see how it works, and maybe I'll talk to Comgrow about getting the better version they have that came out. It's like $139, and I can put that on it. And
Sure.
anyway, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, give it a try. Yeah. So I've been busy with the Toys for Tots stuff. Right now I have 3 printers going outside. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 printers going outside doing Toys for Tots. And that's where most of my printing has gone. I finally finished. Oh, by the way, Kieran, my ESCs came in yesterday, and it works fantastic with the 20-watt ESCs or 20 amp ESCs. So I had it out and running yesterday. If anybody hadn't seen it, check out my Facebook. I have posted a video of it, just the basic functioning. It's a bit hard to steer the RC while you're and control your phone at the same time. So
I see Ram Design's got a comment there. He says, I need to get to know you guys. It's great to hear what others are up to. You're very welcome whenever you want on his stream or my stream to pop in. I know these guys like they're my neighbors. I haven't met them in person, but we talk on these live streams constantly. You're welcome to join in whenever you want, Ram Design, and we'll chit chat about whatever. Everybody's always welcome to drop in if you want to talk about your hobby projects.
You're welcome to click on the link and come in and join us as well. I don't know if I posted that link. Let me shame on me for not posting it. 1 second. I thought I did in chat. Jerry, if you're not on YouTube, so can you? If I post it in here, can you pin it, please?
I can't pin it. You'll have to pin it with the 3 dots. I'm not logged into your YouTube account. Just click the 3 dots and hit pin post, and we'll make that.
I have to go to YouTube then. So give me a second. There might be some audio feedback. So give me a second, guys.
Hey, non-fam.
Hello, non-fam.
Hey, Havoc.
Yeah, you guys are all great guys, Kieran. Doesn't matter who comes in as long as,
Yeah, everyone's welcome. All we ask is that people behave. We've had I had the odd sporadic spammers. Liam has no standards, as he even lets myself and Jason in. Well, you said it now. Remember, not me, Kieran. Depends on my ideas. Well, I even hang out with Amanda. Right? Come on, right? If I hang out with Amanda and I hang and have Kieran in here and have Jason in here and have Jerry and I even have Matt in here. Come on, I can't have much of a standard at that.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm making fun of you, Matt. Yes, get over it.
Yeah, I was watching a video talking about up on Mars how they got that one lander up there that's got the big solar panels on it, Liam, and they got dirt on them and the batteries went dead on it. Why didn't they design some kind of a blower on that unit to blow it off? So when it got sand and debris, the solar panels weren't clogged up. So,
but then the question is, what are you going to blow it with?
Air. Well, there was no air.
Yeah, you got 1%
atmosphere. There's something up there. There's some kind of an atmosphere.
Carbon dioxide mostly, but you'd have to have a pump running to build up the pressure, and it'll take it. But if you have batteries low, you can't do that. And what happened was, it was up there it was during one of the Mars goes through every couple of years. Mars goes through global sandstorms.
Yeah.
Now, by sandstorms, I mean the sand is it's like talcum powder, right? But okay, you're welcome anytime if you think you're able to. But that settled. It was during a whole, and that storm could last months, right? And it was during that's why they got coated with it, and they couldn't do anything with it. Because when you have months and months and months, like maybe 2 or 3 months of no ability to charge batteries, so that's why all of the newer craft, or all the craft, some of the craft are already up there, and all the newer craft are using RTGs, which is radio isotope decay thermal generator, right? And they use that now, so it doesn't matter what happens with the skies, and because they're not depending on solar power, they're running on nuclear energy, basically.
Yeah, SpaceX is getting close, so I'm hoping within a month we might see it orbit the Earth. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, well, the first orbit of the Earth is going to splash down off Hawaii. Got to go nuclear or go home. Yeah, that's the only way to make it last, right? So So what happens is the first one's going to go around once. The boosters are going to come back, but I don't know if they haven't decided if they're going to land that yet. But the Starship is actually going to belly flop. Is what they're going to do. They're going to belly flop it into the ocean off Hawaii. They might surprise us and change their mind and decide to land it, but I don't think they will.
Okay, they got like 29 Raptors on the main fuselage, right?
On the booster engine.
Okay, on the booster, but how many's actually on the Starship?
The Starship has 3
Like
gimbaling
before?
Raptors and for landing,
Okay.
and 3 vacuum Raptors for orbit space
Okay.
space travel.
Hey, Llama, what's going on?
Hey, Llama.
Hey Tom, what's up, Factoid Man? That's his new name for me now. It's Factoid Man. I should get a superhero cape saying Factoid Man. You know what was that guy that does the TV ads for the something loan?
The what?
Don't
Some
know.
loan program, some loans. What's it called? When you can get advances on your salary on your pay.
Yeah, Dollar Loan Center.
Yeah, well, there's a guy who has a TV ad, and he shows up in his superhero suit for that company. I can't remember the name of it. I think I've seen it
Okay.
once or twice. But maybe I should get a superhero outfit like that called a Factoid Man. What you think?
Hey, Tripod.
Hey, Tripod. How was life, John? So, as I said, I've been busy with the Toys for Tots. It's been eating up all my time. What have you been up to, Matt?
I've been up to quite a few things. I've been test printing some lithophanes, but didn't came out too well.
That's a nice. Look, wait 1 second. Sorry, let me come back to that. So let me make it full screen, Jerry, since you brought it in. So that's a nano board on the main board attached to it.
Yeah, DB3D Dan Barrio, he gave me a link on Amazon. It's like $13, real cheap. I can't hook up stepper motor end stops on it, but that'll be fine. I don't need to.
You don't.
And I haven't powered it up. I forgot to buy a power supply. I thought I had one that would work, but the one I have is a 9 amp, and this requires 4 to 5 amps. So I got one on order. I printed out all these little brackets off of a Thingiverse file. Got set screws and T-nuts with bolts holding the belt tension tight. And then I got 3 stepper motors that came off an Ender 3, or 2 off a CR10 probably. Had some extra motors. I had plenty of cable. I had to do a little solder work to make it reach, make one of my cables reach, going from the stepper down the round. And I'll just have to see if I need to do anything about this flopping around.
I would recommend a cable chain.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it works tomorrow. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and I didn't have to go out and spend $200 or $300.
Yeah, it looks great.
I said my extrusion from Ziltech was only like $33. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hey.
It doesn't have a rod going in between the two, but if they're both driving at the same time, it should be fine. With them turned off, I have resistance. I mean, I can tweak one direction, one another, and I'll have to reverse the plug on one. I got to power it up to see which one goes which way, and then I'll just reverse my plug into the board. That way, they both drive the same direction.
You'll have to take it out of its housing and move it to see which way it turns, clockwise or counterclockwise.
Well,
all you do is take the 2 center pins and switch them around.
yeah. Well, I thought about could I just take the whole plug out, cut off the little barbs, and stick it back in and reverse it? I did watch a video about rewiring it, but I don't know that I need to.
No,
I think
you
I can
don't.
just
What
flip
you
it.
do is you don't even cut off the bars. If you use an X-Acto knife blade, well, let me bring it back to everybody. If you use an X-Acto knife blade, you can push down those barbs and tease them out, and then you switch them around and then plug them back in again the other way around.
I know, but I'm not.
Right.
You're saying just the center two? Are you sure?
It's the center two normally your directional, is your positive and negative.
Okay. So if it's just the center two connections and it goes the wrong way, I'll reverse them, but I'll film it. So if the board goes pop, I can say, okay, Liam, you owe me $13.
Well, if it's $13, I'll buy you a board, right? But no, if you ever notice, that most boards have 4 cables out of 6 being used, and
Yeah.
the center 2 cables right, that go into the stepper motor are normally the positive and negative.
Yeah.
And what you do is you just reverse them, so it makes the motor spin the opposite direction. Is all you have to do.
Okay.
And since if they're the same motor of the same machine, chances are their steps are going to be the exact same.
Yeah, I
anyway.
watched a couple different videos. One person said just reverse the plug and plug it back in. Two other people said rewire it.
I
this
wouldn't
way,
reverse
rewire
the
it
plug
that way.
because you could damage the connector because they're keyed.
Yeah.
Those connectors are keyed.
What's new, Jason? How you doing?
No, I'm all right. Nothing really new.
No,
Just plugging along.
We're under 100 today. It's only 99 out right now at my house.
I know, it's nice. I've had to turn the AC up to 76 because I'm freezing inside. It's cold.
have you started printing for your Toys for Tots yet, Jason?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't have any going right now because I ran a spool out on the Daedalus with some what were they? Not the chameleon, the horses. I was doing horses on the unicorns, the Flexi unicorns. So I ran that out, did those, and I just was loading another set of filament and loaded white in, and I didn't mean to do white, but whatever. So I decided to print a few parts for something else for a minute. So and then the rat rig I'm just trying to tune it. I put a 0.8 nozzle on it. I'm trying to tune for it, but it's beating me.
Oh, Liam, Jason, one thing, DeWitt's Tim stream though that I tried to let him know this in chat. Liam, take yourself and drag yourself with your mouse to where Jason is.
Oh yeah, that maximizes me, yeah.
Because DeWitt didn't understand. He was trying to make you both the same size, and then he put you on the left like we used to do. But when you're like this, you can just grab your mouse, put it over any little drag, and just drag it straight over and just swap them in a one-step move. And that's what I was trying to tell him in chat.
So let's talk. Matt was talking. So Matt, your turn on the spotlight.
Well, I was doing some test prints, trying to do basically a picture in what I do in one day. Tried to do it in half a day, but didn't work out too well. I had too many under extrusion lines, but
if you up your temperature higher and you extruder, it allows you to push more material. So if you were doing, let's say, 200 degrees on PLA, and you try to go faster, and if you don't, you can only push so much, right? Because you can only melt so much material at a time. But if you up the temperature by 5 or 10 degrees, it allows you to melt more at a faster speed. So every time you increase speed, every time you increase your speed to print above what you normally do, up maybe 5 degrees to see how it looks. You might want to go to 10 depending, but up the temperature a little bit that allows you to melt material faster.
All right, I try that. Hold on a second. Let me switch cameras.
Unicorns. Amanda loves unicorns. That's the one. Is that the one you won the competition with?
No.
Oh no, sorry, that was the kingfisher bird.
Yeah. You see, it's a little bit blurry, but you can't see it. But there are quite a few lines in here, under extrusion lines.
You can see them a little bit, yeah.
And I've been doing
Bark.
Very nice.
Detail is pretty good.
Hey, John.
Came out really smooth. And the cleanup job was a lovely job of my fiance, Loopy Doo. So.
You really do let anyone in here, Liam.
I know, yeah. Well,
I wanted to make sure that Liam's channel goes.
Thank you.
Go on, John.
You're a bad influence, by the way.
Why am I bad?
Until I started hanging out with you, I never had problems with printers, and now I have a printer that won't boot up.
Mm-hmm.
It's your fault.
Blame it on me.
excuse me, it's your fault because until we started hanging out, I've never had a printer that didn't boot up properly. It won't even turn on.
Does it have a C in the beginning of it and a Y at the end?
It does have a C and a Y, yeah.
Then I think we know who to blame.
Yeah, well, it powered on once. It powered up once, and then when I tried to power it the second time, I pushed because the way the CR10 Smart has a power switch at the back.
Big
lighter's garbage. So the CR10 has a power switch in the back, but it's got a little, what you call it? I can't remember the word. Software control switch. Was it a relay? That's the word I'm looking for. It's got a little relay in there, and you put the power on, and this button on the side. So you turn on the power supply in the back, or you turn it on. You have a relay in the side. You can push the button for the relay to open the circuit to power the board, right? And when I push the button, I can hear the fans kicking in. But when I take my finger off, it goes dead again. I think the relay is bad.
Hey, just reach out to the Facebook community. They'll tell you how to fix it. Level the bed.
Level the bed.
Level the bed. You gotta tinker. It. Otherwise, you know. I mean, the $700 machine. It's you gotta tinker with it to make it work. So.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm working with. I got it from Banggood, so I'm working with them. They told me to update the firmware, and I replied back and said, I would love to update the firmware if it stayed powered on, so I could update the firmware. But it's not.
Yeah, they're reading off a technical book about problems.
Well, no, they said they went to Creality, and they asked Creality, and that's what Creality told them to do.
Brilliant.
Now,
there's only one thing that you need to do, and you'll never have a problem with it again. Pick it up, walk around the side of the house, drop it in the trash bin, and go back inside. It will never give you any problems, ever. Guaranteed.
No, what I'll do is I'll just bypass the relay switch altogether and just go straight with the power on and off the back.
See, there you go. This is why 3D printing companies love people like you, is that you fix your own problems.
Yeah.
Instead
I'm going to
them go buy their products and stick to it. That's the problem with the whole community, man.
Well, I'm going to see what they come up with first, but that's what my.
Hey, tripod. You got the Kaiwu on a Pi working?
I got a replacement board. Yeah, it's running right now.
Cool. But you were saying a while ago about me letting anybody in. This is the lowest of the low.
So Jerry, to answer your question, they actually sent me one of the newest boards because the Pi 4 just doesn't work with the other revision. So it's actually with that board in there. It's so new that it doesn't even accept the Wi-Fi chip yet. It's not even part of the firmware yet.
When I plug my Pi 3B in mine, I can't use the screen like on a Creality printer. I can't baby step or anything when I'm running off a Pi on the Kaiwu. The screen is pretty much unresponsive. It doesn't show me temps on the screen or nothing.
This one, it will do it. The other one, I couldn't even plug in my computer to it. The pronto face wouldn't even detect anything plugged in. And it was, but this, I just actually swapped it out today, and it's working, as you can see. But I'm trying a time lapse right now to see how well it works.
What's up, old man down there in a messed up old hat? What are you doing?
Old man with a gold hat.
I'll be giving that away when I hit 1,000 followers on YouTube.
You should have been there a long time ago. How many you got?
Never gonna get there. Like 500. I'm too much.
Wow. Post a link and Liam will throw it up.
I'm too much of a jerk to have more than 400 or 500.
Oh, you haven't met me then, right?
Yeah, I have. I'm worse.
So are you going to include your end panels for the box as well?
It will. That's why the box is here.
What is it that's down there?
It's a rep box.
Ah.
Yeah, and he's
not only is it a rep box, but it has all the rep box accessories. I'm not going to dig into it again. It's got the dehumidifying kit. It's got the seal kit. It's got the extra doors.
So it's like a $2,000 thing.
It'll have the oaken head panels that I made, which I gotta make more and put my CNC back together because, of course, over the weekend I moved my CNC And then today I looked at it, and I'm looking at it. I don't know if you saw how it was built, but 2x4 frame I got it sitting on. The way the Y wheels are, wheels just like a printer is. Basically, it's a little beefier, but the 2x4s are sitting under it, and you can't adjust the Y wheels. So here I am all by myself, manhandling that freaking thing, split it onto sawhorses again, all by myself. I mean, I don't know if you've seen this thing, but it's 6 foot square. Huge. Trying to move it onto sawhorses by myself. And tore the whole frame down, rebuilt it, made it so I can get access to the Y wheels, and then slid it all back on today. So I had to change my clothes like 3 times from sweating my ass off because it's wicked humid here.
But at least it's done now, though.
Well, the frame's done. I still got to square it up. I guarantee I screwed up it's not square anymore. Then I got to reattach all the electronics because it's all unwired. And then put the frickin' wasteboard back on.
You
I
make
did
it
run
sound
the
like
wire.
Come on.
I ran power to the new location already because I got a separate circuit all just for the CNC now. So,
Cool.
yeah, it was literally. I literally changed my clothes 3 times today. I was sweating so bad. I'm walking across the garage floor, and there's like puddles I'm leaving behind me. I'm like, that's disgusting.
I'm not going to touch that conversation.
It was gross. It was gross. But I got it done. And then I came up here and took a nap in the air conditioning.
Well, at least you're getting it done. And
yeah, I am gonna send. See that's what I didn't get. I told Pooch I was gonna send him the one. I've made one panel. He sent me all the stuff I needed. Like you can go get the rep box in the GitHub repository. Blah 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 blah. It's not really the whole thing. And he's got some custom stuff that he does. So he sent me all the custom crap, and I cut it. I brought it into my CNC, brought it into Fusion, did the whole decode, cut it. And I was going to send it to him. And I was like, dude, I can't really afford the shipping right now. Kind of strapped. Long story short, my car insurance company screwed me over. Ended up whacking me like $400 from a stupid mistake. The mistake's my fault, but the excess money is just ridiculous. Anyway, he just freaking all of a sudden emails me. He's like, "What's your address?" I'm like, "Okay." Thinking he'll send me some end panels, to match. He's like, "I'll send you some." Sent me the whole thing. So I'm gonna, I'm using them to make sure my end panels match, which they do. I checked them today, and I'm gonna cut a bunch more once I get the CNCs back up, and I'm gonna give that away.
And you're going to send a set of the end panels to Pooch?
Yeah, he's definitely getting a set. I'm hoping I can work with him and sell them through him.
Yeah,
like
they're nice.
If you order them, if you look now, he's got like wood grain end panels that are printed. You know how Pyro does his printing and everything for him. Pyro Designs. What's his real name? Heather's husband. Can't think of his name. They used to do community catch-up together. What the hell was his name? Pyro Design. Anyway, he does. They're not real wood. They're printed.
Hi everybody, how are y'all?
Good.
Hey, everybody.
Good, you?
Hello, Betty Boo.
So anyway,
Llama.
I'm gonna see if he wants to do real oaken, pine, whatever. Do like 3 or 4 different ones.
Okay, Nikita.
And I can do a custom cut.
Give him bones, would you? Sorry.
So hopefully, I can sell them occasionally. I won't do them per order. I'll do it like I'll put out 6 or 8, and I'll go, "Hey, Pooch, I got 6 or 8. You can put them in your store," kind of thing. I don't know. I got to talk to him. I haven't really talked to him about it yet, so he may not even want to do it. But
Yeah, well, maybe.
I have a feeling he will, because the minute I said I was going to do that, he was like all over. Started sending me stuff, all the files and the information and the, what I was going to do with it. He wants to give one away. He wants to give a set away. You know, like on hot makes. I started this back at Christmas time.
But he's not. But he's gone from hot mix now.
Yeah, so we
Yeah,
started this, I said, way back at Christmas time. Well,
yeah. The gym is rotating through different people now. He hasn't decided if
March,
he's going to
April.
keep doing that or if he's going to choose some of the permanent co-hosts. So he hasn't decided on that yet.
Hey, Llama, I saw that you commented on 3D Printing Nerds about his live stream not showing up on his homepage for YouTube.
Yeah.
The way that you get it to do that is you got to organize it where it shows live stream on the top. That's how mine.
Here's the thing. The whole, I have to organize it. If I have someone subscribed and I have the stupid bells clicked, it should just do, you know, like it should like.
Yeah, it should say, hey, this is going to be there. Yeah, it should do it automatically. You know, I get it.
Hierarchical order down, like, I mean, it does. If you go to his page, it'll show up and it'll be like in a corner somewhere, kind of.
Yeah, but it's the way. Unfortunately, it's the way that he has it organized. Is the reason why it doesn't show up there because he.
Yeah, is that the way you organize it, Lam? It's the way he does.
I know, but no, it's I get what Llama is saying is that it should. This is an upcoming stream. It should be on the top no matter what.
I agree, and
exactly.
YouTube should be doing that. They're not.
Yeah, and it's
YouTube doing that as much.
I caught that last year when I was like, wait, why is this buried in there? And it's not showing. It's because you have to have the live stream categorized up.
Yeah.
The show.
But here's the other thing, like this one. To jump in here to see this, I knew this. He does this every week. I go to my homepage, doesn't show up. I have to like click on subscriptions and then dig down to find the freaking stream that I know is going on. Every.
You ever got an email notification?
Yeah, go to your notifications, and if you can click on your notifications.
No, he said that he does, but so like with mine, it will
buried.
It will not always stay there, right?
That's
Even
with
if
me
you don't
too.
hit remind me now.
Something currently happening, brand new or live. You know, the newest thing should be on the top, which a lot of times it is. Like somebody might have released a video between when you started this and, you know, when I go on there. But anything currently happening, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, this is stupid. It should be bold right in top. If you're subscribed to someone and they're live, you go to your YouTube homepage, not to your subscriptions, not to your notifications. Your homepage, it should be freaking right there in front of you going, hey, this dude you're subscribed to is live right now. Would you like to go see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Angus's newest video he did about the Kickstarter. It's just like the Boston Dynamics, I think it is, where it's got the $30,000 robot, and this is a $500 version on the Kickstarter. You know, the little robot that runs around like a dog?
Oh, yeah, that Boston Dynamics stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, he's sending one. It's like $500 in Kickstarter if it goes through. But when it tips over, it can't flip its arms and legs and get back up. And it looks like it's built that extrusion of from a 3D printer or something. I mean, the way it's bent and molded, but it's really cool what it can do. I mean,
remember the erector sets from the 70s? That's
Yeah.
what it looked like. But, I'd like to see what the $200 one can do.
You plug in that shady motor that's like no ground or anything, and you're like, hope it doesn't electrocute me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to spend 30 grand or what's that other guy that? Oh, Adam Savage. I mean, Adam Savage has the big expensive fancy one, and you know, so for $500 you get a simpler version. But I guess you buy it and you take it apart, see what makes it tick, and then you make a bigger version. Because that's probably what China did with Boston Dynamics. They probably got a hold of one. And
SpaceX uses one of those Boston Dynamics, the big rovers, because when the spacecraft lands, like in Starship in Texas, they send out a dog with a sniffer with the dog, I call it, right, because it looks like a dog, right? But they send that out, a robot, because it's got sensors on it to sense it in case there's any leaks around the vehicle to say it's safe or not. So they actually have one, and they use it all the time. In their Texas and Starbase One is what they call it.
And they patrol the property at night. They have a little chain gun on top of them and a laser, you know.
Yeah, but they use them for sensors as well to make sure it's safe. So I think he has two of them. I think SpaceX has two of them.
I'll send Bear. See if it's safe. He was
Yeah, send Bear.
gonna kill the AC guy. I'm like, no, I need him.
Don't need him yet.
Oh, I even brought a treat to the door because I asked the guy if it was cool with dogs. So, oh yeah, yeah. And Bear just does not like anyone coming into this house.
My dog, you could be walking on the sidewalk down by the road, and she'll bark at you.
Oh yeah, I can have the garage door open. People could approach. As long as he watches them approach, he will still stay in the garage with the door open. But if he doesn't see you, oh boy.
No, mine. If mine was not on a lead, even walking down the street, and you try and come near me, she'll let you know you're not welcome. She's very, very, very protective because she's part German Shepherd, so she's half Shepherd, half Husky, so she's super protective.
Yeah, when Brandy came up and gave me a kiss on the cheek, Nikita started barking at her.
I heard that.
She's usually trying to choke me or something. Nikita's getting involved in like, no. You leave him alone. He takes care of me.
I thought you were saying a command against Betty.
Yeah, while Betty was away, he trained the dog. So, what's next for you, John?
I got way too many things lined up, and so the end of this month. Well, it needs to cool down before I can do the garage makeover. But got like 3 or 4 videos lined up. But
You do all the paneling and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work. But I got to first move this stuff on that wall, and then get the electrician in, and then after that, then I can do all the fur out the wall so I could run conduit up and down and or whatever if I want to run just any type of low voltage cabling. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. Not really. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not.
Well, you're not. But when it's done though. Yeah,
because it's going to be like the 2 cabinets here, and it's going to be almost a mirror image on that side, but not with these because the cabinets that you see over there, there's no way that I could afford those cabinets again. I mean, I got them for free from work, but those are $7,000 a piece. So,
yeah, they're a bit on the pricey side.
Yeah. So.
And what about what have you coming up for printers or?
Well, I just need. There's the way the garage is going to be organized is each is going to have its own section. So one will be for laser, one will be for CNC and welding, and the other one will be for printers.
Cool.
Yep. I mean,
we'll
it's just
see the result.
Yeah.
We'll all be on.
You're not the only one.
We'll all be
I mean, but the problem is that this 4-wheeler should have been out of here last month, but the trailer that we ordered may not even be ready until next year, and we ordered it back in April.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Oh, now that people are paying the ridiculous prices. So the trailer that I ordered is 28-footer. It paid, I signed a contract for $7,400. That same trailer right now is going for $21,000.
Wow.
And people are paying it, so that's bumping mine down.
No,
because
well,
they're filling those orders.
we know. You can argue with them that contractually they're required to do it in order because you signed a contract first.
Oh yeah, and I had a delivery date of July. Then they bumped it because of material shortages.
Was your delivery date in the contract though? Did you have a timeline? Did you have a timeline and you had a delivery date written into the contract?
Let me see.
Because if you didn't, that's breach of contract. They have to.
This is a stack of papers for the garage or the driveway update video. That's all the questions that will be answered for the trolls. Hold on, I'll find it somewhere over here.
Yeah, so because if they stated a date and they did contact you saying it's because of material shortages, but they're shipping to people who order after you, that's breach of contract because by rights they're supposed to. They have to take care of your order on schedule.
Oh yeah,
a lawyer would love that one. Especially if you know anybody else
And every time I see them advertise on Facebook and stuff, I'm like, you guys are just going to keep them raising the price. I mean, these trailers just go back into their history on their Facebook pages. You can see how much they were 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And if there's any language in there about delays that are outside of their control, then don't even bother. Just wait until it shows up, because they're just going to come in, no matter what. If you argue with them, or if you try to take them to court or send them a lawyer's letter, they're just going to go, well, the contract says, and the parts we ordered for him just aren't here. And good luck proving that they are.
The only way to prove it is someone who ordered after you, roughly the same item, got it delivered before, who paid higher.
Well, you'd have to be able to prove that any invoice or purchase order for materials specifically for that contract order,
correct,
did or did not show up. And
I mean, the only thing
good luck chasing that down.
Is direct communication text messages with the owner. That's saying with the timelines, but it's not a written contract.
Then it doesn't mean anything.
Going in that way now. If you got a text from him, that's contractually binding.
Depends on where you live.
I don't know.
It's written word. It's written word from the owner's email.
No, it depends. It depends on your state, and it depends on whether or not they, if the guy says should be, and the language that's in it, and the context of the entire conversation. So, it's still going to be hard because it's not binding in any way.
Well, the written word is written word, right? Word of mouth is not is not. But if someone says something on text message, and as long as you didn't use the word should be or maybe, but he did give a date on that text message, that's the same as a contract. That's the same as written word.
Not necessarily, because he can say that was a typo. Sorry, we didn't. We don't review them as contracts.
Then it depends.
It's very, very difficult.
But I'm just saying you could use something like that for leverage to try and get him to move the timeline up. To have that conversation, to move timelines up,
You could try. There's nothing wrong with trying. Yeah. If you're just going to call the guy up and be angry with him. But
if they're that shady, all they're going to do is come in. If you push them and push them and push them, they're going to end up going there and they're going to do a crappy job because they don't want to be there, or they're doing it last minute and they're just trying to.
Well, it's a trailer. It's not them coming to his home. It's a trailer.
No.
They're building a trailer for him.
You want it done right.
Yeah. Well, make sure the lug nuts are tight when they deliver it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because I've seen the way lawyers can spin word, because I deal with the legal side a lot of my job, and you'd be amazed with what a good lawyer can turn a text message into.
You can turn anything into anything. It doesn't always mean it's right, and it doesn't mean you're always going to be successful.
I know. I didn't say you'll always be successful, but
yeah.
But I'm just saying it could be leverage for pressure to try and get them to get delivered stuff rather than next year, all because you paid less than somebody who's paying today.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, if you really wanted it, pick up the phone, call a lawyer that'll give you 15 minutes to talk to them for free. See what they think. See what they tell you might work. And if they tell you, hey, between the text message and the contract and whatever, you might be able to argue with them to get it faster and put that in a letter, put it in writing, put it with, a letter of representation from the attorney, mail it off to them certified, see what happens. Or they could just come around and say, well, you know what? For $7,400, everybody else is giving me triple. Here's your $7,500 back, bro.
Yeah.
Good luck buying one. Possibly. They could do that. I mean, they may have a right to cancel. I don't know what your contract says.
Yeah, it depends on the verbiage of your contract.
I'm still waiting on my taxes from 2019. They owe me about $1,600, and every time I've ever got through to them, which has been a while now, a few months, I've called them like 20 times. They're like, "Well, we got to wait COVID. We got to wait for things to get caught up."
They're back in the office now.
Yeah, send them a bill with interest.
Yeah, there you go.
So
They do
That's
it
what
to
they'll do
you.
to you.
if I never get it, if I ever contacted a lawyer about it, that would just gobble up all the money I'm supposed to be getting. So I need to refile them if that can be done. It was my mistake. I forgot the thing from the insurance of the government, the Affordable Health Care Act, the paper. We enter the figures for each month. I forgot it by one day. And then I called them up and they said, oh, you got to do it by hand. You can't use TurboTax. Here, print out these 40 papers. I did. I made a math mistake when I did it that way and mailed it into them. And they said, oh, we see you made an error, but now you owe us $300. And then they kept sending me letters about the $300. And then I went ahead and paid it. That way they get off my back. They said to do that. And then somebody else said, well, I don't know who told you to do it by hand. Sure, you can use TurboTax to amend it. So then I did. And I fixed the problem. And I sent it certified. And that was August of 2020. Still waiting.
Man, yeah, but if you owed it to them, they'd want it tomorrow.
Well, I know.
And
That's why I
and
paid
if
the
not,
$300
they'd start
because
charging
they
you
kept
interest.
tagging on interest on that money, saying I owe them money, which I didn't. So they owe me my $1,300 and something plus the $300 I paid them, and I think they do owe me interest. But I'll be happy just to get my money.
Plus postage, since you're asking.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting. I don't know.
But especially nowadays, because the cost of postage today is ridiculous.
My wife says, "Forget about it. You're never going to get it." No, I'm not going to forget about $1,600.
Yeah,
I
but
lived
they
on a
wouldn't
fixed
forget about
income.
you,
That's
so.
a lot of money.
No, I agree with you.
So
They wouldn't let you off with it, so why should you let them off with
Yeah.
it? It's your money.
Mhm.
So
my
I
mistake.
agree.
Their fix made it worse. So
Well, in my job, I pay in my salary for legal fees. So and by doing that, then I can pick up the phone and I can get a lawyer whenever I need one. So it'd cover all of that. Like if you want that letter of representation and stuff, my company covers that.
I was gonna
It's
say,
covered
it's
as
part
part
of
of
my. I have the
monthly.
same benefits through my work that I pay extra for.
Yeah, AARG.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you should ask them
No control.
because it doesn't
Mhm.
cost you anything to get one of them to talk to you, and they would do if they think it's worth stirring up. They would do it for you, and it doesn't cost you a penny because it's covered by the company.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have the same service.
Yeah, we've got, I don't know, our union has something like that built into the
Yeah.
whatever benefits you get from them. But I used to work at a university and did the majority of the construction contracts. And it was not, I mean, it's not like I needed to, but one time I just walked over to the legal department and just said, hey, you got a few minutes? I'll buy you lunch if you call these people for me. That's all it took. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be amazed how much a simple phone call along those lines will accelerate stuff.
Hmm.
It makes stuff so easy by having somebody at the end of a phone, and like even if you don't have them, it's one thing not having it because, like as I said, I have them through my company. And John said he has it, but like not
Okay, so
everybody has that.
here's the line that protects them. All delivery and or completion dates are estimates given to us by the manufacturer. Occasionally, a date will be missed due to weather, material supplies, equipment malfunction, etc. So with that, we have no control over. Boom,
Yep.
it's in the contract. So
Yeah, they're covered because they're going to pick any one of those things and say it
And-
was too cold that day, it was too hot that day. You
The wind
know,
was
my
blowing from the
parakeet
east,
had
not the west.
diarrhea. Any excuse falls in there.
My parakeet had diarrhea. I like that. I'm gonna
yeah,
use
a
that.
parakeet that
That
had
is
diarrhea.
so very original.
Landed on my shoulder.
They'll find reasons, but
Had
even if it doesn't, even if they're covered, it still doesn't. You still be amazed how much that one of those phone
Well,
calls would
so
accelerate stuff.
there was this guy that was taught. It was first this guy that was on the Facebook group. This was months ago, right?
Mhm.
That they're advertising, and the price has steadily gone up since. And like they're advertising and said, "Where's our trailers? Oh, here's one now. Buy it now, right? Here's one." You know, it's like, where's our order? So this woman was on there and said something, and then a couple of weeks later, a guy said almost the same exact thing. So he was on his wife's account because he was getting they were like really starting to say, hey, don't post anything negative on our ads. Like, well,
Right.
you're not. It's
You're
like,
not
why? You're not.
delivering. I'm entitled to air my view.
Yeah, it's like you are selling trailers and not filling past orders. So
Yeah.
that's actually where someone can lawyer up. I think is on that. Is that they're selling trailers that are the same size and everything, same features, and they're not filling past orders.
Yep.
You know, I mean, they're selling them on the lot, but they could be a cancellation, as they would say. So they're going to try to cover their rears no matter what.
I understand, but still, but you should be doing that every time you see their posts.
Oh, I do. Oh, I'd be like,
constantly.
hey, you guys are just, I mean, I know that you want a trailer, but when you're spending 22 grand on it versus 7,200, that is a huge increase since April.
Yeah, but I would put in, I would like if it's the same type of design, I would say, where's my one? I ordered it in January. I'm still waiting. Where's my trailer? Why can't you deliver my trailer? And I would do it continuously. Every single one of their ads, I would post it on it.
Sorry, you got to do the Jerry way.
Oh, you're gonna do Jerry? We're all doing it Jerry way then. Come on, Jason, flip that around. Come on.
No, then I got to take off the headphones, and that's a
Yeah,
pain.
I'm
the rebel. Not doing it. I don't succumb to peer pressure as if any of you were my peers.
I'll do the
I'll tell you
Gilligan
what,
Time
I'll
thing.
do this. I'll put that on. Since Jerry's put his hat on sideways, I'll put in that on, and I'll put. Now I'm covered in all directions. Well, how about that?
There you go.
Yeah. So it's. I just keep on telling you. So you guys keep on purchasing these trailers for bloated prices. They're gonna just keep on. The price will never come down.
Yeah, if you keep feeding.
Well,
it,
you know, if I have 10 trailers exactly the same and 11 orders, and you were the first one, and I'm getting triple for all the other ones, you know who's not getting one? You. Because
I
at
know.
the end of the day, even if you cancel, I made more money than you would have ever given me.
And that's the worst
if
thing.
I wanted to just get a little something from you, I'll knock $200 off the price because I'm a nice guy and I'm sorry about the delay.
Do a video about it, or tell them you're going to do a video about how their company operates and what you think is right and wrong.
Jerry the gangster.
Yeah, it's I mean the thing is we have to drive to Georgia to pick it up too.
Oh yeah, do a video about it.
My 16-foot car hauler I bought 8-9 years ago was 2,300 2x6 planks. Had a dovetail on the back end of it, and I kept it until I didn't need it anymore. I got a concrete pad out back for RV parking, and I finally sold it, and I didn't lose any money on it.
Well, Loopy Lou, that's it. They're going to just say it was a cancellation. That's how they get away with it. It was a canceled order. It was already coming off the line, and that's how they're going to say that they have one.
Well,
yeah, mine is.
Or it was
It's a
a
custom one.
they ordered years ago for, parking lot stock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
because we need
John,
ours
Yeah.
to be a.
Even if it's the same model or anything, all they got to do is take a can of green spray paint, put one dot on one of the rims, and now it's not the same as what you ordered. So it's not the model that you ordered with your custom features, even though it is.
This one has
it's
a spare
different.
tire over on the front.
but
There you go.
the
Or they
amount
put
of
cabinets
coverage you
inside.
got about your driveway, right? About remember when you get the driveway done and you had huge coverage on that video. Do a video about them and send
But
them
that
the link to
that
it.
was huge.
Oh,
negative
this is not. Oh,
coverage.
this drama isn't over. Hey,
I
you
know,
want a
but
little
I'm saying-
snippet of how this video is going to be?
Sure.
So the guy, the owner, came out a couple weeks ago. Oh, now it's been a couple months, right? And I show it was rain on the driveway from the night before. We moved the cars. They've been parked on the street for 2 hours. Sunny day out. First thing he does comes in and he says, "Oh, you got pooling." I'm like, "Yeah, I got pooling. You want to go for a swim?"
So it's
And
not,
then
it's not
I
right.
go through and I show him the where it hasn't fully settled yet from February. He's like, "Oh," I said, "Yeah," and he's like, "Well, you should have it sealed." I'm like, "They'll get rid of all the evidence because it's covered where the we had snowplow come out and they backpulled the driveways, right? That's usually how they do it. And I saw chunks of asphalt coming up, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, it raised almost an inch around the sidewalk. And he's like, oh. I said, oh, I got some pictures. So I showed him the pictures. He's like, oh, that's not good. And so he said, well, we may have to actually redo it. Stand-up guy, right? Really? Okay, great.
Never hear from him again.
Yeah, and so he's like, hey, I'm just letting you know, I am going to a wedding in Florida. I'll be back in a week, and send me the photos and everything. He gives me his cell phone, and so I tried to ping him. He didn't respond. So I contacted the office. Said, oh, he's still down there. It just took a longer vacation. Okay, no problem. Needless to say, it's been a battle to get a hold of this guy or see what he's going to do, because it's a busy season for him. He's got no workers. Everyone's at home collecting a paycheck. So, and it's a busy season, and we've had some good amount of rain, and so they don't work when it's raining. So after finally get a hold of him, he's like, okay, we're going to fix it. I said, oh, how are you going to fix it? Well, we're going to infrared it and then seal it, roll it and then seal it. Okay, I'm like, okay, now I need to look up this infrared thing. Never heard of it. So what they do is they take an infrared heater, place it on your tarmac. It heats up. It gets all the oils nice and hot. They stir it up, put some new tarmac on it, roll it, and right? Still leaves a patch mark. Even if you seal it, you're gonna still see the square patches.
Yeah,
where
it'd be like using a cold patch on it.
Well, I mean, even if it's level,
that's kind of what it is.
yeah. I mean, even if
It's a hot patch.
Yeah, it is literally the best way to fix a pothole or uneven surface. It's literally without ripping it up. I said no. I said it wasn't done right. It's like, what do you mean? I said, oh, I went through all the footage just online and what I had on my phone. I had it all readily available. I didn't even have to dig through my drone SD cards. And I'm like, he's like, well, so if we rip it up, you're going to pay for it if there's 6 inches of base? And I said, so if it's not done right, who's going to pay for it if it doesn't get ripped up? If it's not done right? And he didn't answer. And I sent him all the photos. I'm like, look, dirt and clay, still there while they're laying down the crushed limestone, and then it gets covered up with the thinnest layer of limestone. He's got nothing. He has nothing to go on. All the evidence in the world is on. I have that it was not 6 inches of base, period. I mean, the footage does not lie. And I'm battling all these contractors that are trying to back up this guy online on that video, and it's just a shit show. Sorry, but it is. It's the heat that I've gotten from that video, because there's nothing like it. And you're getting upcharged twice. I expected an upcharge, 25% overage. I had put away, but yeah, it's and that's another video that I gotta get going on too. So
Would you should do the same on the trailer?
oh yeah,
You should, because if you slam them on social media like that and in video, talking about what you do happen about and talking about your text and so on, like show the text, but obviously the wording of the text and so on in the video, and make sure you say, oh, by the way, I'm documenting this on my YouTube channel where I have 10,000 people who watch my channel. Here's the link. By the way, you should subscribe so you can see the follow-ups as you get it done.
yeah, it's well, I'm gonna be very creative with this the way I handle this next video. So it's like I'm actually writing almost like a script for it, which I've never done on any of my videos. So
I think you should rename it to your whole thing to "Nothing Good Ever Happens at Tripod's Garage."
yeah, I mean, it's hey, the AC was replaced at a fair price, and the guy did quality work.
Oh, 3D printed, Jerry?
Yeah, Modbot over on Twitter, he's building not a rat rig, a V-Core, but he wanted something to put his nuts and bolts and stuff in. They're real small, but I got to print one more row of drawers for it.
You should give a small version of that. Send a link to Matt so he can have somewhere. So Louise has somewhere to store his nuts.
Well, I agree with Build Overbot on his last statement here. You do too many videos like that, it does make you look bad.
They're not. They're all the same subject. It's different though.
Okay, well, the only thing is I could do a video on it and say, hey, finally picking up the trailer that I, signed a contract back in April, and you can see how many they sold at a higher price. I mean, that's basically all I would do. I mean, what are you going to do? I'm not going to cancel that contract because they're wanting me to. Because as Jason said, they're making hands over fist on all these other units that are going out, whether there's production delays or not anymore. The lumber prices have gone back down, not to where they were, but they've gone down enough.
Yeah.
And
people go into business to make money. They don't go into business to make friends.
Yeah. Here's the catch. Lumber, wood has gone way down. Metals have quadrupled in the last month.
Well, if they just put their order in April or May, then they wouldn't have had to deal with that.
Yep.
The box of these was $10. I just got 20 for $22.
Wow.
For quarter, 20 basic everyday bulk. I couldn't afford a box. The box was like $45.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
quarter 20. They're not even like stainless or galvanized or anything. They're just hot metal crap.
I mean, the last communication was, if you want to cancel the order, it's fine. I'm like, no, I didn't even respond. No, because that's what they want me to do now.
Yeah, I probably just respond saying, no, I want you to deliver what I ordered.
Well, the biggest problem I had is taking the time off from work to go pick it up. And then he actually clarified that, says, you have 6 weeks. I said, okay, I can arrange to get there within that time. Because that's the thing that is them selling it out from underneath you because you didn't get there in time to pick it up.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'm more worried about. I mean, we've canceled both of our trips because of the trailer issue, but it is what it is. I guess you're saving money for not going, but all right, I'm gonna drop off.
All right, man.
I may be back on again. I'm gonna have some dinner.
All right. Take care.
So I'll troll in chat, and then may come back and
give
troll
Kieran a hard time.
Jason.
Yeah, give Kieran a hard time.
Yeah, Kieran, he hasn't been chatty.
So yeah, so you need to fix it.
I think maybe he got burned by his computer or something, or not by his printer.
I think he's scared to get on the stream with us. I think that's what it is. I think he's just afraid.
You think Kieran is scared of us? Maybe.
I think he's just afraid to jump on. I mean, he can prove me wrong. If you want, Kieran?
All right, I'll be on. I'll be back.
Kieran is probably on Dan's show.
And absolutely no pressure, Kieran. Absolutely no pressure, Kieran, but we know you're scared. So
no pressure, but you're scared.
And it's okay. It's okay.
Not really, but okay. Because he didn't say he was in the office today, so.
Oh, I'm at work, so you're lucky.
See, now he didn't say that earlier on, but he did now. So this is his get out of jail free card.
Allegedly, see, we don't know that that's.
Yeah, allegedly.
If that's where you really are, but we'll take it. We'll take it. It's fine.
Yeah, no problem, Built Over Boss.
Yes,
I did right at the start. I didn't see it. If I didn't see it, it never happened. Wait, Kieran has a job? Well, Kieran says he has a job. We've seen no proof of that, but he says he is.
Right?
Yeah.
He's making kangaroo burgers.
Kangaroo burgers. Yeah. So, but it's but so how is your Toys for Tots coming? How many have you done so far?
there's let's see, 27 fit on one bed of the little bugs from Print Professor.
The geckos, yeah.
Like those and the little
Or the
bee,
chameleons, yeah.
the chameleon and the bee. So I've done 8 trays of those,
Oh wow.
and just kind of alternating back and forth. I did a couple of the penguins. I don't know. I don't
I like
know.
the penguins.
Yeah,
They're
I was
okay,
like,
but
well,
I'm doing
yeah.
most. I'm using. I have rainbow filament,
Mhm.
so I'm doing chameleons because they look really good because they're supposed to be multicolored, right? So
Yeah.
the multicolored chameleon's a good fit, right? Because of the
Yeah.
rainbow material.
Yeah, this kind of silk green comes out nice. That's the I had 2 spools of it, so I went through one. That's the second. Doing a lot of the chameleons. I've done a couple of the raptors in black and white and a brownish weird kind of color. It was like a reddish brown. I don't know. It came out okay.
Let me show you some of
Um,
mine. Well, let me bring in a few of the chameleons.
Nah, quiet.
Hey!
Shh.
We're in the library.
What's happening, YouTube?
I'm waiting for the day, Jerry, that you pick that up to shake it and the cap's not on.
I've had it loose before. Yeah, I've done that.
So I have various different colors. You know, chameleons of green,
Yeah.
and stripes, and
Yeah.
orange,
Those are cool. Yeah, those look neat.
purple. So I have a whole pile of them of all different colors, because the rainbow filament gives a nice little transition color, you know.
Mm. Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah, I had a spool of the rainbow. I just don't like that they take so long to transition to the next color.
It depends on the rainbow, though. Some of them are shorter than others. So
Yeah,
some
well, the
like
one I had
have-
wasn't very good, so I gave it away to some kid. She's got a 3D pen, so I'm sure she's going to town with it.
I have one spool of rainbow there that's from a different company that changes every 20 feet, which is very, very long. I have, and some of the other stuff, if you use Sue one, you can see how fast it changes in a single print. Like there's
in those, because those are about an inch tall. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do a tray of them at a time. I can do about 30,
Right.
32 of them at a time or so.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's how you get it to transition. Just do more.
Hey, Kuma Mods, Matt,
Kuma
what's going on?
Mods.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
We have Matt
Yeah.
Germain on screen. Matt Farmer. if you
Yeah.
wanna pop in.
Matt Germain is here as well. I hear you're friends.
Yeah.
Yes, we're friends.
You have the link posted in case he wants to pop in. Say hey.
I sent it to him.
Okay.
I sent it to him. Yeah. So like this didn't transition very well because at the very beginning it started at the purple, so it actually managed to get all the way through. But what I'm doing is I have one printer that's doing whole trays of them, and I have a small printer. I'm just doing one at a time, and like just to have one going on it. Pop it off. It has the option to do print again. So pop one off, print again, walk away. Come back a half an hour later, pop it off, print again, just to have the printer making something, you know. So I have 4 printers going right now.
Nice. Yeah, I had the
0 printers going right now.
I'm waiting. Well, once I get the rat rig tuned in a little better, I'm probably just going to pull that 0.8 nozzle off and put the 0.6 back on because
I'm using like 0.4.
Yeah, well, let's see. That's got a 6. These two have 4s, but and this is what's been printing those small bugs mostly. Or the little chameleons.
Yeah, I'm printing the chameleons on the 10 log IDEX. I'm using the IDEX, the JG Maker IDEX, to do the little mini Jeeps.
Right, that's what I want to do on the rat rig is just set up a bunch of those little Jeeps and let them print out.
Yeah, I can.
I saw
bring
your
in some of
post
those.
on the Jeeps.
Let me show a few of them. Some of them are multicolored.
Yeah, I liked the 8.8 novel, and I kind of hated it at the same time. It wasn't really faster for me. I didn't have like a volcano or anything hot end. So I was actually not gaining any speed because it couldn't heat the plastic fast enough.
Yeah.
It was actually printing at a slower speed, even though I was putting it for layers.
There's a
Yeah. So it was trading one thing for another.
Yeah,
That's one in gold.
The 0.6 is gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah.
There's one with a
Yeah.
fixing a 0.4.
That's got a
Yeah,
transition
I don't
color.
have any problems with the
Liam, make
0.6,
yourself big.
0.8.
That way it automatically interrupts everybody
Oh,
talking.
no, I don't mind. It's fine. So, little Jeeps. I have a whole pile of this orangey gold.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using it for these. The kids can always paint them to whatever they want, like, you know, if they ever want
Yeah.
to change colors. But some of it, I'm using a bit of rainbow filament on some of them.
Mhm.
I've changed over now. I'm doing a whole pile of these now in a light and in a dark blue as well.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mark.
I was just gonna print a
Matt,
bunch
how are
out
you?
till the spool ran out and change colors.
Yeah, that's what I did, and I put on two brand. I ran down. There was 4 winding less per spool,
Nice.
so I put on 2 brand new spools yesterday.
Nice.
Matt, here you go.
Okay, why can't I hear her?
Well, we can just hear you now.
Hey, what's going on, Matt?
He can't hear us.
He can't hear
What's
us.
going
Everybody
on?
do this.
I can hear you, but it's very, very faint. Hold on.
That's because we're whispering. Now we can't hear you.
Now we can hear you.
There we go. Now we
I
should
think.
be all right.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Is he wearing a Superman t-shirt?
So how's your eyes after?
Or not.
He's wearing a vest.
How are your eyes after the
Oh,
Yeah.
the alcohol?
Hard to tell. He's only getting like the top half of it.
Check, check, check.
Check.
1,
Wait,
2,
yeah,
3.
check.
Echo.
Credit card.
Why?
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Matt.
we hear you. You're not muted, so can you hear us?
gonna take that as a no.
Yep. Can you hear us?
Turn up the mute, but I mean,
It is a Superman shirt.
It is, yeah.
It is. He dropped it.
He just got off, came back from Walmart.
Yeah, figures.
So
Wearing his
we can hear
Superman
you.
jammies at Walmart.
Okay, now it's all frozen. Okay, it's back again.
Technology.
Can you hear us, Matt?
technology's perfect, isn't it?
It could
Bye.
be. I hear my
I feel
pop
like
back in.
spring is online right now because having all these internet problems from Matt.
Yeah.
Mm.
So here's a thought for you guys to discuss. I'm thinking about using these, which is just a 1 inch and a quarter, I think actually, quarter 20 nut or bolt. Excuse me. I have T-nuts, not 3D printer T-nuts, but the 3-prong T-nuts that I actually bought from the waveboard on the CNC. But I'm thinking about sinking them into the wood frame for my CNC and then screwing these in it to adjust it for height.
That's a good idea.
The thing about it is one, is it going to slide around on these things and fall off? It does jerk around pretty heavily. And two, I need about 25 or 30 of these.
Wow.
You got to remember that thing's 6 foot square.
Yeah.
5 foot square, excuse me. It's 5 foot square.
Well, Matt, can you hear us?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Hello, Matt. How are you?
Good.
How are you?
I've been better. Let's just say
How's your
that.
eyes?
My eyes are okay. They're still a little like dry feeling and like puffy-ish, but yeah, they're perfectly fine. So
Yeah, because he got the natural alcohol in his eyes from cleaning the resin.
Oh,
yeah, you guys can see that blooper on the 3D Printing for Noobs group. I was on a live stream when it happened, and I was showing someone in the UK, Ron something.
No,
he was
he's
on the
in
stream.
America.
Yeah. Oh, is he? Okay, I thought he was in the UK. Yeah. So Ron was on, and I was showing him off a bucket of denatured alcohol that I had just filtered out. And it was still kind of cloudy. So I'm like, oh, I'll just use that as a pre-wash. And I went to go and turn around and put it down on the ground, slipped out of my hand, hit the ground, and splashed all up in my face.
Oh, wow.
And that stuff burns when it gets in your eyes.
So I got it all in my nose, in my eyes, in my mouth. Yeah. So needless to say, I quickly ran to my my basement sink and I washed it out. I cupped my hand and washed my eyes out really, really quick. So it was only in my eyes for maybe 30 seconds, if that. But yeah.
Well, safety glasses.
It only takes a second.
You know, I was just gonna say that. You know, Jerry, you guys were talking about that on the stream the other day. Like, oh yeah, you should probably buy glasses. Well, I do have glasses, but in this case, even if I had them on, they still wouldn't have helped because it went up my face and it would have just went right underneath the glasses. Would have stopped a little bit less, but
you need actual like safety goggles is what you need.
Yeah. So I went out and I purchased goggles. So Amazon should have them here tomorrow. So I'll be using those.
You know the downside to goggles? You actually have to wear them. And most people don't. They buy them and they're like, oh yeah, and they start doing something without thinking about it. And,
I got goggles.
Yeah.
Somewhere in a drawer under everything else.
I have in my garage. I have about 4 pairs of work goggles. You know, for like proper full coverage goggles. I have some like 4 or 5 pairs of laser glasses because when I work with the lasers, they're everywhere.
Yeah, I actually wear my safety glasses now when working for no other reason than they're cheaters, and I have to wear them or else I can't see what the hell I'm doing.
Well,
so I actually wear my safety glasses now.
Well, you can get proper, like good safety glasses will go over your normal vision glasses, you know, without any problems.
Yeah, but I only need them for.
Where'd he go? 5 minutes wasn't up.
I think he got another call or something, and he dropped off.
Okay.
He might drop back in. But yeah, so I saw the post. I didn't see his stream, but I saw the. I have to go check the group out. But
I didn't know that. I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, I saw the post of him in the hospital getting his eyes checked.
Oh shit!
I think I saw that too.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what he'd done.
I didn't see the stream, but I saw the post of it, and he explained in the post about what happened.
The stupidest thing I ever do is using a skill saw. Is sometimes my safety glasses aren't handy. I'll just squint my eyes and cut, and you shouldn't do that. You sawdust. You don't want any splinters in your eyes or any crap in your eyes.
No.
Anyway,
I've seen it happen.
Even if
I know a guy who lost one of his eyes because of a splinter because he was using a ripsaw.
Yeah.
A handheld ripsaw and a shard of he was cutting particle board, I think it was, and a piece of it came up and went into his eye, and he lost his eyesight from it.
There he is. I hear somebody.
No, that's Tim.
Hey,
that's Fireman Tim. Is that a fireman's hat?
That is a hard hat.
Come on.
To protect his hard head.
Come on, DeWitt 3D.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Well, see, I don't wear hard hats because my wife said I'm hard-headed anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
I got a hard hat off the garage with stickers all over it from back when I used to have
Here you go. Right there, look at that.
Oh,
yeah. I learned my lesson.
Yeah, like Tim always says, safety second.
Oh, I still have the cut on my head. Yeah, it was pretty sharp. But here we go. You know what? The official DeWitt hard hat. Canadian eyes, everything.
So that would be there would have been swear words build, right?
If it wasn't live, trust me.
No. Going forward, we have to make sure starting this Sunday that will be on his head every time he starts building.
Yes.
You're his sidekick, so you have to ensure he's wearing his hard hat.
What you actually got to do
you need to get a
hard hat on that pose. So
And you need a one of those calendars behind you that says days since last injury.
Oh, good
that'd be
idea.
funny.
You just leave it at
somebody,
0.
Somebody was talking to me about my puny little Canadian flag, so now I've got this.
No problem, man. No problem. Take care, man.
Proud Canadian
Take care,
maker.
Matt.
Take
Yeah.
care.
That's nice.
you ever seen that days since that it's going around Facebook and Twitter, I think too. This days since the last accident, and it says ever since Jim left.
I think you should put that in your screen, you know, for your next live stream. Say days since last accident should be 0 on the screen.
I'm gonna.
On the big screen behind you.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Just black, make it a black screen with just a big 0 and a white text above it and a white 0.
Yeah. Oh man. Amazon loves me this week.
Okay, Matt. Thanks for popping in.
Is that Matt now? Akuma Mods?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Matt
Okay.
Farmer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's dropped in for a minute, but his boss called, so he said if he gets time later on, he'll pop back in.
Well, I got the wife and kid are away for the evening for a little bit, so I thought I'm going to pop on. It's rarely that I get a chance to with a 5-year-old in the evening.
Yeah, been there, done that. Bought the t-shirt, worn it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you heard, Tim. I got my drink droid working.
Oh, good.
The new ESCs arrived yesterday, and I drove around a bit yesterday.
Cool.
Drink droids are yesterday's news, Liam. You should have done that months ago.
Well, I was waiting.
Nobody's driving a drink droid anymore. You got to get on the sand crawler or something.
I don't want
new.
to sand crawler. It's too
No,
late.
no, no.
Oh
Now
my
you're
gosh!
up to
Have you
drunk
seen how
drink.
big that is?
This thing is monster.
I know.
You got to drink. Now you're drunk.
It's really nice though. He really did a good job with it though.
Oh yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
I'm not printing that.
How many rolls of filament that take?
Oh, that's probably about 5 spools, maybe more.
Trying to remember what somebody asked him that. I think it was 5 or 6, something like that.
Something along those lines.
But I think that was the panels and the body, and not counting the track system plus the TPU for all the tracks.
Or the drivetrain.
So,
The drivetrain
yeah.
system. Yeah.
Yeah, the drivetrain. Yeah.
Yeah. So I won't do that. I'm waiting to get a bigger printer so I can actually do the full size R2. It'll take me about 6 months or more to print it, but still. But I want to do it. I don't want to do is cut it up and print it. I want to do it as one piece because I want it to be stronger.
Yeah.
So, Kira wants to know how many track segments does it take?
How many what?
Track segments.
I think it's 8. I think there's 4 in the front and 4 in the back,
Yeah.
if I remember right.
Yeah, I finished. Well, the BR2U, I call that my R2 Beer 2.
Your R2.
Yeah, the R2 Beer 2 is what I'm calling it.
That's cheesy.
It's good.
Good
I'm
bad.
cheesy. What's the problem? Those new ESCs are huge, by the way. It's over double the size of the 5 watts, the 5 amps.
Oh wow.
It's got a rotary heat sink on it.
Let me get one. I have one on my out here. One moment.
Ouch.
Can you do it again?
I just hit my knee on the ladder.
Freaking knee, dude,
It's okay.
dude needs to be fully armored when he goes down into a shop, man. He's gotta
So
have
I'm going to need to be wrapped in
knee
bubble wrap.
pads and elbow pads and
I'll come out this Sunday in a football uniform.
No, come out. No, come out wrapped up in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
I hate when I take off my shoes and I'm barefoot, and then everything in the house jumps out in front of my toe, and I'm always kicking something. That
No,
sucks.
here's the old ESC, right? Here's the size of the old ESC. This is the size of the new ESC beside it.
Oh wow.
Nice.
it's a lot bigger.
5 amp, 20 amp.
Wow.
So you could probably now. So basically,
Oh,
the
it's not
size,
that
it's
much
4 times the size actually, roughly, and much heavier cabling in there. It has the right connectors for at the end for the battery connection and so on. So it's a big difference, but it gets hot, but it doesn't get scalding, burning hot, and like it doesn't overheat and
It
go
shouldn't be
crazy.
getting hot at all. You
Well, it
shouldn't be
is.
getting hot at all to the touch. Then you've got a wiring issue. Either you've got a ground loop issue or something else. It should not be getting hot. It shouldn't even be getting warm to the touch.
Because all I have, like, I even rented it at first with just the motors, and it was getting hot.
It gets hot. That's why it has a heat sink on it. This place the heat, right?
Yeah, but it shouldn't be getting hot at all. Even those smaller ones that I'm running the larger motors on don't get hot until they've been running for about 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's when they get warm, but not hot. The only time I had an ESC get hot is when I had it wired into the ground loop to a buck converter rather than straight from the battery,
And
which
I
should
didn't
have
do
been the
that.
same thing, but I think it was just, I don't know, getting something,
I
pulling
didn't do
something
that.
off the.
Everything is wired direct from the motor straight onto the. My motor connectors seem to be okay, Kieran. It's just this gets warm, gets hot.
They really shouldn't be.
I don't know then.
I think you're just doing it wrong. That's what I'm sticking with.
Hey, Kieran, did you check the postmark on that
I
letter?
would argue.
I think it was like a month ago.
So, sorry, Jerry. What was
What
that?
was that, Jerry?
No, Kieran finally got a sticker after like a month. I was wondering if he looked at the postmark on the top to see if it was dated like a month ago. Because I believe that's about when I sent him.
Actually, speaking of that, I wonder if Rene ever got his. The last time I checked the stuff I sent to Rene, it was still. Are they end? What are they? Drill bits or
Jason-
end mills?
Jason
Those
shamed
are-
me because I didn't have metric drill bits.
Oh.
So
I was right to do so, because how does a self-respecting Canadian not have metric drill bits?
well, there
Wait
we
now,
are. We have
wait
a
now,
complete set
Jason.
of metric drill bits.
Jason, no one ever said he was self-respecting.
Hey, Tim, why is Canadian bacon called
Well,
Canadian
he's got to
bacon?
get some respect somewhere.
Why is it called
Because it speaks
Canadian
for the
bacon?
egg.
Because
Yeah.
it's because you guys call it back bacon.
No, it's called American Canadian bacon because he goes, I'm bacon, eh?
But Canadian bacon is not the same bacon as bacon. It's not the strips. It's the
No,
round.
it's
back
actually
bacon.
meat. There's meat shanks
Yeah.
on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
it's just-
Irish
it's
bacon
ham.
is like that, yeah.
It's
Some
called-
people
it's
call
Oh,
it
yeah.
Well, I know it's ham,
Female
but
bacon.
it says, yeah.
Right.
It's not ham,
Canadian
but some
bacon
people
is
call it
certain.
female bacon too.
So if I buy a pack of bacon here and cook it at Tim's house, then is it Canadian bacon?
No, that's
Yeah.
called fat that we cut off. In all fairness,
Oh,
Canadian bacon and Irish bacon is pretty much the same thing, right? You have a lot of meat on it, and the fat part that you serve here is what we disregard. We move and we eat the rest.
But it's good though. That's where the ham and the meat all gets its flavor from, is from that fat.
Oh, you leave it on when you cook it. You just trim it off afterwards.
You just got to trim it off. Yeah.
Hey, Thomas, how are you?
Hey, Michael, like
Hi, Thomas.
So yeah, so Canadian bacon is all ends with eh?
Hey,
What are you talking about?
what are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
don't
go
live in houses
out
in
to
Canada, they live in houses.
There's drill boots.
And why do they call trunks boots overseas?
Why do
Because
they call
it's in
what?
the boot.
The trunk on my car, which I don't have my wife's car
Well,
has
that's
a
right.
trunk. But overseas, when you see a movie, they call it a boot. Why?
Because that's what they call it.
Yeah, I don't know
know.
why we have different.
Why do we call it a trunk? I mean, that's a weird word.
Why do we call what Jerry's wearing up, or no, the thing you wear in the winter on your head to keep it warm? Why do we call it a toque?
A beanie, you mean?
No, we call them toques.
Well, when
But
in high school, you
you
go
call
up
them
behind
beanies.
the
I don't know what
school,
that
you
is.
I don't know
You
what a
call
toque is.
You call it a beanie. We call it a toque.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
call it a hat.
Yeah.
Or a beanie, yeah.
Well, beanie is actually supposed to have a feather on top.
Oh, Kieran, because
Wow.
you're called boots and
Oh, Mr. Factoid over here in the corner.
Llama,
Hey,
transfer the name
Factoid
over to
Llama.
Kieran.
Okay.
Because that's where they put their boots.
He's not factoid man.
Smarty
He's just a
Llama. Now we
sidekick.
got.
Stagecoaches were an American thing. They had them overseas too.
They had horse and carriage
He's just a
everywhere.
sidekick.
Wow.
We know horse and cart was everywhere. Like the Americans got horse and cart after the rest of the world did because they said the people like it was civilized everywhere else before here.
Yeah.
Right?
It
You ever
probably
see
still
that?
is that way.
I
Feels it
refuse to talk
sometimes.
because half
The
my
Americans backwards
audience
from
are
everybody
American.
is the youngest country.
That was the guy's name that used to crush the watermelons with a freaking sledgehammer.
Yeah, I've seen that watermelon thing.
Oh,
blown up.
You know.
He used
Oh
to
my
do a
gosh, I
show.
can picture him with his long hair. And his,
with
oh
hair
my
and
gosh.
so bald. He ended
What was
up
his
in
name?
cancer.
Ooh.
But anyway, he used to do one of the jokes like that, like, why do you park your car on a driveway, but you drive on a parkway?
Parkway, yeah.
Why do you, if you take a box and you put it in a truck, it's called a shipment, but if you put it on a ship, it's called cargo.
Hold on.
Gallagher.
Yes, that was his name.
How come your feet smell and your nose runs?
Because
Yeah.
my feet smell and my nose is running away.
Question: is your refrigerator running?
No. Mommy already gave you bomb. No more.
Oh no.
No,
Matt wants to catch your refrigerator.
No, I don't even think. I don't think I've ever even. Don't think we even used the word parkway for a road. For roads in Ireland.
We call them parkways here. We have parkways.
Now we
Call
now
them
we
freeways
do.
or highways.
Parkway
We
is
have-
different than a freeway.
We have highways or
A
freeways.
freeway is inside city. Anything out of the city is called a highway.
A parkway, you're not allowed to have trucks on.
Okay, we just
No
have.
semis are
But that's
allowed
not
on
everywhere.
We
That's
have
not
roads.
everywhere because
We have roads
That's
and
US.
freeways. That's what we
it's
have.
like in,
Roads and freeways.
yeah, in Florida has parkways and some of them are like big
They're-
toll roads. For
they're not
anything you want to
allowed.
drive on it.
You're
Yeah.
not
In Germany, it's the
allowed to
Autobahn.
have a parkway in the United States.
So
No,
if you're on a toll
We did
road
truck.
and you don't have any money, what do? You got to turn around.
No, you usually show them your license and they'll take your information and send you a bill.
yeah, they'll send you a bill.
Because that's happened to me before. I've gotten up there and went, where'd all my money go? And somebody at home had it. And I'm like, okay.
Well,
So
nowadays,
I'm like,
nowadays
now
with
what?
camera-
And they're like, you got your ID? Yep, here you go. And they did. They sent me a bill for $1.
But
Oh, wow.
nowadays they have a camera, so you just take a photograph and they bill you based on your license.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have the pass that pays it, yeah. They
If I
just bill you
wanted
off
to
your
go to
license.
Texas, and the short way to get there, because of where I live at, I'd have to go down, get on the freeway way down to Lamb and Charleston. Jason knows where that is, and then go all the way through Henderson and around to go to Arizona over the dam. But the shortest way is I can go 3 or 4 blocks, and I'm on my way to Lake Mead. But they have basically a toll road. In order to go to the lake, you got to pay either yearly or a one-time fee, and then I can take a shortcut and jump over the dam. It'll save an hour at least of driving. But
you don't like driving on that, do you?
I used to take the back way all the time going to Texas.
No, I meant over the dam. I thought you didn't like driving
that road?
way.
No, I don't like heights. I hate that. I hate it. It's like, okay, there's nobody in front of me. Get to the other side. And I don't like heights.
But you've worked construction.
I know, and I've jumped out of an airplane twice. I don't like heights. I'm afraid of heights, but I can do it. I just don't like it.
So the question is, why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
To find out what my fear was, and tell you what, the parachute open, it was awesome all the way down. It was great.
Why
Oh,
would
it
you
is.
jump out of a
It's crazy, yeah.
freaking airplane? Because the beer is on the ground.
Well, I've done parachute jumping. And it's fun. But
Well, if your goal is to go down and the plane is heading that direction, if you have a parachute, jump out of it. because the plane's likely not going the direction you want it to.
Well, it probably is, but not at the nice gentle speed you want to reach there at.
Yeah, I've been in the hot air, been across the valley. I've been in the chopper once. So.
No. And it's also, it's never the fall that kills you. It's the stop at the end.
Ooh, my wife is learning how to use emojis on her phone. Look at that, guys.
I've noticed.
Never seen that before.
She's going crazy.
Wow, she must have some wine coolers or something.
Tim, did you get my email? Did it go through?
We watched
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And then go away again.
Oh, it figures.
Yeah, my second jump, I snapped my ankle. I didn't hurt my ankle. I snapped it.
Yeah.
I got a steel plate and 8 screws currently in my ankle.
How many in your head?
Yeah.
How many are in your head?
I got a pretty hard head. I'll never need any metal plates in my head.
I got a couple. And I got a hard head too. And they still put metal plates in it.
Hey, George, just watching, that's fine. You can chime in, ask questions, give input on whatever's going on here.
Hello, George.
Bring up a topic if you wish to. Everybody's welcome.
And you're welcome to drop in on camera if you would like to talk about anything hobby related.
Yeah, he's welcome. I think he said he's just watching, so he's going to hang out in the background and find out what's going on.
Appreciate it.
And that's fine. Yeah, you're welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that bell, guys, if you haven't already.
Jerry, I think Betty's coming.
Uh-oh.
No.
What I say wrong? You had a couple wine coolers, learned how to use emojis. I said nothing wrong.
I got one.
You ready to get hurt? That's what she's saying.
Well, I'll just take off. I'll mute my mic and go off camera. Then nothing will happen.
Betty needs to buy a heavier bat. No, Betty needs to get a drone with a bat on it. She can fly it over and bop him on the head.
Keep knocking.
Oh, no. I got paint on my bottle.
Uh-oh.
All right, just don't drink it.
Or you build a droid what can slap somebody.
Well, they have Mr. Bally's got the punching ones.
Yeah, the Rock'em Sock'em ones. Just the joint one standing right beside Jerry's desk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Actually, that'd be a cool project to do a giant size those Rock'em Sock'em robots, wouldn't it?
What's that?
Do a giant version of the Rock'em Sock'em robots.
Oh, well.
Printing robots. Do a big version, 3D print a big version of them.
Probably could.
That'd be a cool project.
Or not.
So, what have you planned other than the Toys for Tots prints?
I'm printing the water evaporator from Mr. Badley right now.
Is that big?
It's like, I don't know. I think it's like a foot tall, maybe.
Oh,
I don't think it's that big.
Single print, then, is it?
No, it's not a single print. It's in pieces, but I mean, like, this is one piece of it. So I mean, you can see it's pretty thin. The little spires that come up, and then it's got the centerpiece. But
that would be a great resin print.
This is parts of it here. That's the base. So it's not that big.
Let me make you full screen so it's easier to see. Oh, wrong person. Sorry.
Well,
so that's the base. So it's not that large. And then
give Dan some love for a little bit there, because he's
not sure how it. I think it goes like that, and then like this, and then there's another piece that goes around the bottom where the 3 spires will come around the outside.
Take care, Tom.
So
take care, Tom.
Oh, see you, Tom.
Ciao.
Hey, Tom.
So
you both have 12 watching. You and Dan both have 12 people watching currently.
Well, Tom just dropped off, so he'll have 13.
Most people here probably have 2 windows.
So, who is DB Dan is streaming as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has been for a while.
So, yeah, that's a good idea, Kieran. Is to scale it up to fit on the. If you scale it up, you could scale it up to do on the print on the SR, but it'd be a good resin print too if it came in one piece.
It would.
If you had a version as a single file, you could slice it in half, and you could do it in a resin.
Well, well, he gives us access to the step files, so you could assemble it and pull it out as one file. I'm not sure. I haven't gone through all the pieces, so I don't know if there's some movable pieces or if anything's supposed to move or what. But it's printing fine over there. Some of those pieces only take like 2 minutes to print or 6 minutes to print. They're just small pieces.
Yeah.
But you got to remember too. I think the majority of his printers are Prusas, so they're pretty small. I know he's got a couple S5s, but I don't think he really uses them for stuff like this. Like that, the Sandcrawler was all on a Prusa.
There's a lot of small parts.
Yeah, but he does that, because not everybody has, a 300 or a 350 or 400 or 500, millimeter bed.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing a track for my telescope to load it in up the ramp into the back of my truck.
Yeah.
I could just upscale it, physically make them just upscale the existing tracks. So I've been thinking about doing it. I need to find, my first step though would have to be to find the right motors.
Mm-hmm.
If
I hear an ankle biter in the background.
Yeah, that's
not
mine. That's mine.
But my guess is if I can get if someone was getting rid of an old electric wheelchair, that would be ideal. Just take the motors out of that because they run either 12 or 24 volts. You get two 12-volt batteries and put them in series. And some of them are 12 volts, so you could actually use one for each wheel. But that would be the ideal because that would have the torque you need to move that up to pull that up the ramp into the back of the truck.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about it.
But I mean, you may be able to just buy the motor itself for not too much. I mean, I would think maybe
get on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and buy what you're looking for used.
Yeah, but you know what you don't want to happen? You don't want one of those motors to fail or do something stupid halfway up and flip that telescope around. So you might be better just buying, if you're going to make everything yourself, at least I'm sure it's cheaper to buy a $150 motor than it is to probably have to buy a new or fix that telescope.
Yeah, well, the scope is 10 grand, so yeah.
Yeah. So even if you scratched it, it's more than the cost
well,
of a new motor.
The worry is the mirror. The box is repairable because it's wood.
Right.
The mirror is the biggest part of that. Like it's a 20-inch mirror, so the mirror weighs about 100 pounds.
Wow.
That's just the glass. It's about 3.5, 4 inches thick, and 20 inches wide.
That's heavy.
No, it's not Pyrex. Borosilicate glass that's been polished. So
nice, heavy.
It's really heavy. Yeah, most of the weight is actually the mirror in the base. So and the worst thing is it does sit in there loose. It's held in place with a sling that passes underneath the mirror. So the sling cradles the mirror inside it, and that's what holds it in place when you move it. There is a cell underneath it, but it doesn't. The cell doesn't hold it. It just orientates it. It's actually a carbon fiber sling strap that the mirror sits inside them. That's how it's held in place. So you can actually put your hand, open it, put your hand in, and pull the mirror out. There's nothing holding it in place.
Yeah, that'd be the first thing that broke. So it's just loose. Yeah.
Yeah, but that'll be the biggest worry, So one thumbs down, Kieran is saying. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It all helps, More thumbs ups is better, but it all helps. It all helps the algorithm. So, what is your destination for your Dr. Dooms, Jerry?
When I get done with both of them, they're going to be up on Etsy. That's where I sold the first one at. And I got 2 more here I'm working on, so it'll take some time to get them all done painted. I'll work on them for another 3 or 4 days to get the painting done on them.
They look good.
Well, they will. They don't yet. But.
Well, they did. I saw them earlier on. They look pretty good. So
lots of painting to do.
Yeah, but you like that.
Huh.
Yeah, you can tell by all the unpainted models behind him.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got 4 or 5 boxes in another room. I've got models everywhere that aren't painted. But at least I figured I'm on the live stream. I can hang out and at least I'll get something done. Instead of just sitting here chatting, at least for however long I can be working.
Yeah.
So when are you going to, once you get the power supply, are you going to do a live of your laser on Saturday on your Hangout?
No, I'm going to get the power supply tomorrow whenever it comes and see if it works. And then Saturday live stream, I'll probably show what I've done. I might even have a video out by then.
Cool.
I'll do a video on what I did.
Did you get snaps of the build?
Yeah, no video, but just pictures.
Yeah.
I can explain it.
Hey, Mika, how are you?
Hello.
So, Tim,
All right, guys, I'm gonna say good night. I'm really
Okay.
tired.
Have a
So,
wonderful
thanks
night.
for letting
Thanks
me come
for
on.
joining.
always, you're always welcome.
Good night, Matt.
And thanks, Jason.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
So, what are you working on, Tim?
I'm just, I was getting the holes in these parts drilled out just because, it's stuff that not that I'm cheating on my live stream, but, there's some stuff that you don't want to just take all the time up. Last night, I got most of the linear rails prepped because that takes a while. And so, but I've left a couple. I've left a couple to do live just to show the length of time. But I didn't want to do 6 linear rails because there's an hour and a half hour or more of the live stream burned up. So.
Since you're here, Tim, I want Liam to show you something. I mentioned it last week on your stream, and okay. Right now, you're big. Now, if you want to switch, take your mouse, put it on Liam, and he can just hold down his left button, drag you to the big window, and you switch. You don't have to.
Really?
Yeah, just put your mouse on the screen and just drag the people around wherever you.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to go and do those buttons at the bottom.
Yeah, and he can drag us top to bottom. He can do anything with his mouse right on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Same if you have depending on how you have it set up. But yeah, it's easy enough to do it. Like you have this, I can move Jerry over here. I can move.
Well, yeah, when you have all the people on the screen, you got to go to the top left corner, hit the button down below. But when somebody's already big, you can easily just drag them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so if you make the mistake, like I'm in the main screen and I want to put you up, I just drag it over and just drop.
Okay.
It'll save some steps.
That's great. That's good to know.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Tim, I'm going to upset you again.
Oh.
Go
ahead. It's okay.
Sainsbury's to have their sale on their stuff. So
I saw that this morning. I get emails, right? So I saw that this morning. It's their anniversary sale.
Yeah,
I bought
them for the next week or so.
My 3040 or whatever that was kit came in. It's sitting upstairs. I've got the aluminum bed extension with the wooden thing.
Oh,
I've got the 20,000 RPM bit. I've got the aluminum holder for it,
which would be much better.
I got a lot of upgrades to do on it.
Yeah. The only thing you're missing is that 60/40 or whatever.
No, he's
missing
the 60/60. He has the 40/30. He needs the 60/60.
60/60.
Oh, come on, you guys.
He's back.
You guys are crazy.
Can you hear her?
Hey,
went for the 500 millimeter cube printer, but you cheaped out on the CNC.
Well, the CNC I don't know much about yet. I'm learning.
So, Matt, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're at work right, Matt?
I just want to make sure. Yeah, he's on his break. He's on his lunch break, I think.
Oh.
Yep.
So, what do you think of that big printer you got? The big resin.
The Mega?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I've had some failures here and there, but obviously those are more or less my faults, not a fault of the printer. But it's been printing pretty nice. It's one of the few printers that I can actually fill an entire build plate and not have really any issues whatsoever. It's very level. So that's. And in terms for like what you get for what you pay for, even with taxes and shipping and everything, I know that's costly. it's definitely worth it comparing it to any of the other ones that are in the area of the 3D printing, resin 3D printing. So,
but that's the equivalent of the Phenom, isn't it?
yeah, I think it's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. I forget, but it's pretty comparable. It's actually almost the same as the Transform as well. So, and it's just strange how the Transform is what $2,600. Excuse me, $2,600, whereas this is $1,500, and that's not including shipping or anything. So, so yeah, I mean that right there tells you a lot that there are two different styles of printer. The Transform is much different than the Mega is. So you kind of get what you pay for. It is meant to be a budget printer. So I expect there to be issues here and there, but from what I've seen so far, it's very minor. It's usually like shipping issues, like a cable loose or something like that. It's just typical things that you would see with any printer. So
what is that like then in comparison to the new one that Anycubic are advertising that they're going to be starting a Kickstarter?
Their DLP one, that one,
brand new one. Yeah.
So yep. So one of my biggest issues is Kickstarter. It's been taken from a startup type website, I guess you could call it, to a promotional website, because everybody knows it. Yeah. Everybody knows what it does and what's there and everything. But I have a few issues with that. It's not meant to be that way, but it's starting to turn into that. And then secondly, nobody can really get their money back if something goes awry, because that's basically the big thing with 3D printing in general is Kickstarter has burnt a lot of people with that. So it's left a bad taste in my mouth personally for that use. So I'm not a big fan of it, but I understand where everybody's going to and why they use it and everything. And then also, just the printer in general, that's going to be a pretty big game changer, because if anybody knows anything about resin printing, the DLP printers are going to be much bigger in terms of like what you get for what you pay for. So usually they're very, very expensive, and they do provide a much higher quality detail. And, they're only like 2K resolution basically, but the way that they are, I guess like lasered in, so to speak, or pictured in is far different. And it just makes a better bonding process. And it just makes it for an easier printing process when you do have that. So you're going to see a lot more people getting into that. And you're going to see a lot more failures with it, because it is a newer technology for a lot of budget-friendly people. So I expect to see a lot of disasters when it first arrives, but I'm excited about it because it allows us to get into that DLP projection with being in the budget realm. So
yeah, I like the idea of it being DLP. I agree with you about a Kickstarter. Now, a big company like Anycubic they use Kickstarter for marketing. It's not really, they don't need the money. It's marketing, and it's a way of saying, we have so many pre-orders, we know how many, we have to build this number. It's not, we're not releasing technology and hoping it sticks, right? So I understand that. Yep. But it is one, and as Inga said, it is one of the 7 deadly sins. I fully agree with him on his 7 deadly sin list. Now, but there's an exception to that. I would say small 3D printer companies who are slowly but surely trying to gain market outside of China. I understand them going Kickstarter because they need to get a foothold somewhere.
Well, it's not just the 3D printer. It's
I know,
the company.
But I'm saying, as an example, because this is the realm we're in, right? But if they use it to say, we're a small company. We sell mostly domestic, and we do okay. But we want to try and branch into the biggest market on the planet for 3D printing, the US. Why we could use Kickstarter because that covers US and Europe, and it is a good way of marketing a product for a smaller firm. Now, in them using Kickstarter, I'm all in favor of, because there is a few that I've heard of that are coming. Like Tronksy recently did one. Tronksy doesn't need Kickstarter. They did it for a small resin recently. There are a couple of other smaller companies out there who are using it, and they're small companies, so I understand them. But big companies like the big boys, like Creality, and so on, that's just wrong. They shouldn't. They don't need to. They have the money behind them, like and any Cubic, right? Already, they know what's going to stick in the market.
Yep.
So, like, you can't diss them for using it as a marketing tool, because it's really good for marketing.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, those companies, though, it's not like marketing is new to them. They've got Facebook platforms, Twitter, emails. They have a client base that they can just saturate their inbox.
Kickstarter doesn't do that for you. You have to have a marketing firm to do that work for you.
Well, that's what I'm saying is they have no business in a place taking your money without an obligation to give you anything. If they were to open pre-orders on their own website, that would be different. Then they would have to give you a product or give your money back. This way, they don't have to. So they're shoving all the risk on you, even though they didn't need your money to start with.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask Matt if he had any Mentos at work. He could drop one in his Coke. Hey, Matt.
He walked away. He like me. But I would say I agree with you. But that's what they're using it as a marketing plug. But in saying that, if a large company did use Kickstarter and did not deliver, they would actually destroy their reputation. So they'd have to deliver. So I would say
what you get.
The risk is less.
Yeah, but it's like the CR6 John got, right? And a lot of other people got. They got their Kickstarter version, and they were garbage.
Yeah, so, John had a lot of problems.
Yeah, so did a lot of other people. And then you got, folks like Kieran or myself that, got one later. I don't know if Kieran's was Kickstarter, but mine wasn't. And there's been nothing wrong with it, really. I mean, I did things to it as a prevention or because I wanted to, but it worked fine. It didn't,
It's luck of the draw. Both of mine were Kickstarter, and they're both fine.
Yeah. So
they were built on a Monday.
But
so that kind of.
Go ahead.
The what?
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So that kind of goes back to, another reason why I personally think that a lot of companies do the Kickstarter, because if you produce an item and it's trash, like somebody was saying, like, you can basically get your company ripped apart easily. But with Kickstarter, it seems to be that people have like a lax in judgment, to say the least, on Kickstarter projects, because it's a project, not a release of a printer. So people kind of see it as, take, for example, the CR6, the disaster that was. People are like, yeah, it was a disaster. They fixed it. And now everything's okay. And it just that Kickstarter thing is still there, but it's like swept underneath the rug. So people don't really talk about it all that much unless it comes up. So it's kind of another thing that's rolled into that is like, if you make a disaster of a machine, you can basically back it and say, oh, well, this was a kind of prototype or a project design, and you won't get your company ripped apart for it. So that could also be another thing.
It could be. It's like a safety net.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't have to give you. They don't have to give you anything close to what they initially said it could or should be, or what you think you're getting. when it gets delivered to your house. Because like you said, it's a project. Well, we made some changes. We made some modifications. We made some cutbacks is what they're really saying is, and you got nothing for it. You got the hassle, you got the problems, you got the opportunity to fix it all yourself. You got the grand opportunity to try to get somebody from Creality to help you. And outside of that, what did you really get for backing them in taking your money? You got nothing in return. You didn't even get that much of a discount to justify what some people went through.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not saying them supporting it. I'm just saying smaller companies, it makes sense to try and build
Yes.
market. And I understand to try and break into the US market and so on. I fully understand that.
Yeah.
But the big boys don't need to go down that route.
No.
They have so much income already.
Yeah, it's not even that. Like Creality, I mean, they've got 11 models of the same printer. They don't know how to make a printer. They don't need Kickstarter to try to do that and get it done.
I also think that companies need to start sunsetting the versions of a machine they have out there, because there are some companies, and some of them start with the letter C, that and they're not the only ones, but others out there that have
Maybe the
other models out
company,
there that-
maybe
Go
the
ahead, Jerry.
company is unsure about the printer, like with a belt printer, and so they say, okay, we'll throw it up on Kickstarter and we'll see how it does. And the company may not be really sure if they want to try a certain idea, and somebody who works for them is like, well, I know this will work. They say, okay, we'll put up on Kickstarter, put our name on it, we'll see what happens. I don't know if that's a feasible.
But why wouldn't they just open a pre-order where if you want, hey, if we get enough interest in this, we'll make it. Here's the pre-order, and don't show me a fake piece of plastic thing that isn't really working as a render.
We would have to have a company on that's done Kickstarters, and maybe they could tell us the reason why they did it the way they did it. There's probably a reason behind it, other than what we're speculating.
Yeah. I would say, like, I've been involved. I've been involved with some Kickstarters because I've got a couple of Kickstarter machines to do reviews on and stuff, right? And like, I mean, I don't mean they're involved as in involving the design or anything like that, but I've dealt with the company in some way, and most of the ones I've dealt with are smaller companies, right? I have to say most of them are smaller companies because they're trying to get a foothold in the US market, which is a hard market to get into. And I do know for a fact that most companies who use Kickstarter never make money out of their Kickstarter campaign.
Matt, look, a UFO behind you. Turn around, hurry, a UFO.
I would just say, that's a normal everyday thing.
But most of them, they don't make money out of it because the amount of marketing they have to pay for and so on in there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make I know JG Maker, they actually lost money on their Kickstarter, on the actual Kickstarter campaign. They lost money. Now they sold machines afterwards, which made up for it, but they lost money. They lost a fair amount on their Kickstarter.
Hey, puppy cam, make him big. Let's see the puppy.
Yeah, make it big. Puppy cam big.
There we go. He's cute. He or she?
That's Waylon. He.
Okay.
Yeah, Fluffy.
Hey, Waylon.
Look at the camera. He needs a haircut.
I see small dogs as noisemakers because all they do is bark.
He does make a lot of noise. Here you go. Hey, Waylon, say hi.
Ruff, ruff, ruff.
No, move the camera to the dog.
Okay, hey.
Now you know who your friends are, right?
Who said that?
You're just warming up for Sunday.
Sorry. You're going to watch 3D Printing Nerd instead? Steven, that hurts.
That's funny that you're watching that. I actually just got my unit today too. The BQ B1 SE or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I just got it.
Yeah. You know, they won't deal. They won't talk. They won't even answer emails from me.
I didn't even talk to them. They reached out to me out of the blue. I never talked to them at all because I'm not a big fan of the products. And they sent it to me. And then you guys all know Tim. he put out that video like the next day after they contacted me about the boards and everything and how, you know, they're pretty ticked off at him. So,
Dogs lick themselves,
Well,
dogs eat poop, and they lick Tim's mouth. Wonderful.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
you know,
their tongues are cleaner than ours.
I
Okay.
actually watched Tim's. I like Tim Hoogland because he analyzes the electronics. He really goes into electronics, and he points out the flaws. And a lot of companies will not send him machines because he does that.
Yep.
Because he finds issues, but
Mhm.
he's very honest and true to his followers and the people who buy equipment. And there's nothing you'll buy off Tim that he won't stand by, that he hasn't used for 6 to 12 months prior to saying, I'm going to sell this.
Yep.
You know?
Everything that he sells, he actually uses in the print farm.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and he uses it for between 6 and 12 months before he
Yep.
decides, I'm going to start. I like this. Like the smart plugs, he uses them, right? His ABL system, he used that himself for months before, and that was the first product he ever sold, right? So like that's what I like about it, because he puts it through probably the hardest test, because it's used in his production environment.
Yep.
So I love that about him, and I like his what's it called? He does it once a month when he goes off, and you should send him in pictures, and he makes fun of your setup.
Oh, does he? I didn't
He does,
know
yeah.
about that one.
Like
He
a
does that
roast of
once
your
a month.
setup or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
razzes your setup. Yeah, like some of them, like in all fairness, some of them look like someone got piles of parts, just threw them together and say, "Here's my printer," because that's what they
Yeah.
look like. Right? They look like Jason's rat rig half the time.
I've got to run, guys. I'm going to go eat dinner.
All right, Jerry, what you cooking?
Hey, Jerry.
I don't know yet. I'm going to go open the fridge and or the cupboard and see what I got.
All right,
All
man.
right, man.
There you go.
Good luck.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
See you Saturday. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. So what is he saying here? Got the SQR3 Mini and the SQR2s and investing. I have a couple of their boards. I have the SQR V2 and that I've never used yet, and I have a Octopus that I haven't used.
Yeah, I think the SKR, the 1.2 that I've got in the rat rig, I think it's failing already.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Really? Why? What's happening?
You know, it's just locking up. After about 30, 40 minutes, it just locks up.
Oh.
And I get I still have all my touchscreen functions. The web interface is still working in terms of being able to click and move things, and other things are still displaying temperature and stuff like that. And but it just the motion just stops. And it's not that hot. I mean, it's like it hits 50C max, and it should be running at 50C, no problem.
Yeah, but that could be bad steppers as well.
It could be a bad stepper.
Be a bad stepper
Yeah.
or an overheating stepper could cause that, because.
But that would be one. But I'm not seeing layer shifts or skipping or missing. What I'm seeing is the whole machine. Like it would be every stepper stopping, including the extruder.
Could it be the overheating CPU?
So that's an overheated processor, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, and it's sitting at 50C, and I mean, if it was 150C, yeah.
Do a test about putting a fan directly over the processor and run it.
I have one. There's a fan on it. That 50C is the max it hits, and that's when I'm running it fast. I'm talking about printing at like 100, 140. That's not fast for this machine. That's about standard.
And what happens if you run it slow? Does you get the same?
It'll still lock up. Yeah, it'll still lock up. It's almost like a timing thing. It's between 30 and 45 minutes. It locks up.
That sounds like a processor.
Yeah, sometimes it's at the start of a print, the middle of a print, but if it's been on that long, I got to hit the emergency stop or just power it off and turn it back on, and it comes back. But it just, I don't know.
Maybe it's like the onboard memory. that's on there?
Could be bad
That
memory.
would be my guess, is because
Could
like
be.
that sounds like classic. Like if I had an SD card that was failing, like that's classic stuff that I would see, where
Yeah.
it would print to a certain extent and then it would just be like, no, I'm done. Like basically it errors out at that section, you know, because
Right.
as you know, data's in separate sections and everything.
Right.
So that's what it at least sounds like now that you're talking
Yeah.
about. So
Yeah.
that could be a possibility.
It could be.
George, didn't he do a stream? Didn't he do a video today about the H2? Chris did. I believe he did. He published a video today about the H2 and stuff. Yeah, but for your Karen, it does sound like our memory or a processor problem.
Yeah, he's got. Oh, but you know what? Chris didn't put out his. I don't think he put out his installation video yet, though. He did his like review of it.
Oh,
his
I
use of it. Yeah.
I haven't
And now
watched
he
it yet.
skipped over that, I think, in this video.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to see it because I'm working during the day and I had to come on here. So I saw him publishing a video about it. I didn't I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think I'm just going to go back to. I like the Clipper, but
you're gonna go back to
I mean, to me, it's just for me, for my use case, for what I do, for what I want to do. You know, Duet is pretty much the same as running anything with Clipper.
Okay.
So
is that better, old curmudgeon? He said my audio. When I sit back, maybe it was because I was sitting back. He said my audio was a bit low.
It is a bit low. It usually is, but I mean, it's not like terribly low. We can still hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I can fix that. Let me see. Audio settings. Automatically adjust mic volume. So is it auto adjustment? How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
A little bit louder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I turned off the auto adjust and I just set it to manual.
There you go.
So I have it at the max. I don't know why. Normally it's not an issue. So what else is happening? So I might do the pit racer next, Jason.
That's a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah, I might do the pit racer.
Yeah, just
Because
make sure that you get the right size. When you're running your servo wires up through the body into the neck, get something like 26 gauge, 30 core. Otherwise, you'll get some binding, and it'll be really hard to pull it through the channel that runs up through the bottom and through the body.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did that. I had 24 gauge, and it would bind the neck in one direction. It just wasn't enough room, even with a slack loop. It just wasn't enough room to move it around, and it was just too stiff. And swapping that back around made it just solve that. So
okay,
that's why he's still sitting up there, the top half, and the bottom is down, well, there somewhere in that pile. Because I had to pull new wire through.
I'm thinking about doing the other because it's the same base, right?
It's not the same base as the drink bot or egg bot. It's the same base as it was new for that one, but it's the same base for the snow speeder.
Okay, so maybe I'll just stick with the base then and just go with the egg bot on top of it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, because that way then the amount of work involved it's easy transition. I can take the top of one off or whatever, and and do a swap out from one to the other.
I don't think it would be that easy because it's only the very bottom pan.
Yeah, I know.
So, well, maybe. I mean, I guess I don't know.
There's only four or five screws to take out, and you're done, and the whole top part comes off, and the bottom pan remains.
But doesn't the top body part screw down as well? So you would have to take the driver tray out, which comes out easy enough, and there's nothing underneath the drink holder, right?
No.
Okay, then Yeah, maybe.
It'd be
But
easier for
I mean,
them.
the good thing about them is that, like the Pit Racer, it is the body and everything is smaller, and you don't need the rods. He designed it so it all fits without rods. It's got wings. On, I guess that's how I would describe it. It's got some wings that kind of come out of the body, and then the motor housings then bolt on from underneath, and he's kind of got like a half rod printed in,
He's
so
got
to
it
keep it
there.
in place. Yeah, so you don't have to deal with the rods or anything like that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So,
Show the side of it, Tim. On the hit it on the close-up camera if you could.
Oh, on the side.
Yeah, like where the motor is. So if you can kind of see, yeah, there you go. You can kind of see how he's got how it's printed in, how the two pieces mate together.
Here.
Yep. So you don't need the rods on that one because
So
it's much more narrow.
Yeah, if you see how that extends right across.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's just going right across here. Yeah. And then this top piece just sort of sits this way. Oh no, I had it the right way.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, just this way, like this. So.
Mm-hmm.
And then the joist is on top of that.
Like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then he
I just
sits on
have
it.
to finish it off. I got most of the driver pieces printed. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and work on it again yet. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because like I still want him to do the LTO. I want him to do the cut down version of it, but he hasn't done it. Just to slice it up to print on smaller printers.
Mm.
He has it out there. The one that's the really big one. It's like the R2, but it's got tracks.
I think there was a problem with it. I want to say at one point he said he wasn't going to do them anymore or do another one like it. There was an issue with it, either with the design inherently that couldn't go away. I forget exactly what he said, or maybe he's just not going to do anything with it for a while. But I think that's why he's not slicing it up or making like a 40% model or something.
Yeah, I don't want a smaller version. I always want to. I want him to, because he does a good job of slicing them up, you know. And I'd like to do the sliced up version of it, so I could print it with what I have.
Yeah.
Because I don't have one that can do that size print yet.
Right.
I'm working on a few. I'm working on a couple, but don't have them yet. So.
Soon.
Yeah.
You got beautiful clear skies there behind you, Matt.
Yes. It's very, very nice outside.
Nice.
Yeah. Sunset behind you. Nice clear skies.
Yep. Yeah, we have like a personal airport that's right across the street here, so occasionally you'll see people in their fancy little Cessnas and G6s and whatever flying by.
Well, no, for me, like the skies like that, I'd be out looking for meteorites right now.
Yeah.
There's a meteor shower, meteors. There's a meteor shower going on right now. So
nice. And unfortunately, it's a little too lighted around here, so we can't really see.
Oh, you'd be amazed. Some of the bright ones you'll see.
2.85.
Black.
That's the wrong filament.
This is the rubber filament for the Atom Stack Cambrian printer I've got unboxed yet.
Oh, that needs 2.85.
Yeah, it comes with interchangeable heads. So it comes with a 2.85 head for the rubber, and then it comes with a 1.75 head for regular filament. So my filament just came in today. 6 rolls.
Now the 2.85 head, it can still use 2.85 like PLA, right?
I would imagine.
Yeah,
the way you said it, I was like, huh?
Well, I don't know if it's unless the head is adjusted for this particular filament. I don't know. This is called TPR 65A, so it's pretty flexible.
65A.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really soft.
That's not me being Canadian saying 65A.
It's 65A. So what's the name of that again? Is that the A5 or is that
this?
The printer.
Oh, the printer. It's the Atom Stack Cambrian.
Oh, the Cambrian Pro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just haven't had a chance to do anything with it.
They say you can do really soft. So 65 is very, very soft. That's like a rubber band.
Yeah.
That'd be nice for tires, for RC tires and whatnot.
Yeah, this printer's supposed to be good at doing it, so it's got good reviews from those that have unboxed it early. So we'll see.
Nice.
What
All
would
right,
I buy?
guys,
The
I gotta hit the road,
All
so
right, man.
I'll catch y'all later.
All right, take care.
See you,
Thanks
Matt.
for joining.
See you later, Matt.
Ciao.
All righty.
Dum Dev. To answer your question, since I've used them both, I do use not necessarily the octopus, but if I find out this 1.2 is done, I'll either put in the 6HC back in, or I was considering picking up an octopus to try it out. But I guess it just depends on which way you want to go. If you want to go Clipper or you want to use Duet.
Octopus comes with Clipper. You can install Clipper on the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a profile for it. And that's really I think the main difference, outside of if you go with Duet and you open it out of the box, you got a very high, I mean, you're talking 99.999999% chance it's going to work, no issue. BTT, you might have to send it back and get a replacement. You might not have to. It's kind of worked out for me both ways before. Some have been hit or miss. Some have been okay. This one I think is failing, and it's a couple months old. So I don't know. I mean, for other people, I know they've been solid. At least this one, the 1.2. But the octopus is nice, especially if you need that many stepper drivers.
Yeah,
and
it's got 8 on this. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And it's got a couple of PWM and full and always on fan ports that can be used for other stuff as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want serious cooling, you can't beat it because it's got more ports than you need.
Oh yeah, for the features versus the price, I mean, it's got it all there. It's a good combination of the two.
$5, and then you have to buy your controllers on top of that.
Right. So I mean, you're looking about $100. If you're looking at Duet, you're looking at doubling that at least, maybe tripling that. Now, I mean, the steppers are already, or the drivers are already on the board, but it all depends on what you're doing too. I mean, I don't need to pull 6 amps of current through a Duet board. Just none of these printers are doing that. So yeah, it's really hard to tell you which one you should do. I think either way you'll probably be just fine. It's just a decision. You got to decide on which way you want to go.
Yeah.
What are you opening up now, Timmy?
I just want to look at this Duet board now that you're talking about it.
Now, which one did you got in the standard config that came with the Duet 3 Mini Wi-Fi, right? Okay.
Right, here we go. Oh, this guy.
Yeah, it's the Mini.
Yeah. Yep.
Where's the stepper drivers on this thing?
They're built in right along.
They're already ready. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're not exchangeable. They're soldered to the board.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
And
but
then
you
this
don't
also
have to, and you got a good warranty.
And it also came with a thing called a
expansion
Mini
board.
2 expansion connectors.
Yes, because if you look, you've only got 5. Right, you've only got 5, and it'll fit into that header right above it, right there, and that'll give you 2 additional because you need 6 for the rat.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it comes with an SD card.
Now the difference between that and this, actually, I haven't even opened this one yet, have I? I haven't.
What size SD card did that come with?
This is a 8 gig.
Okay. Do you have? It'll work. Do you have a bigger one or a faster one?
Well, I have tons of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in comparison to that,
you're not going to use that one anyway. You're not going to have the SD card in the board. You're going to have it in the Pi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim, this is what the octopus looks like. When you drag me up as main.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's big. Yeah.
There's no steppers. You have to put them in yourself.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steppers. Wow. 8. So what would you drive with that? Like,
well, you could do Z1, Z2, X, Y, X.
You can do additional tool heads if you wanted to.
Okay. You could do, like, if you had like an IDEX setup, you can do extruder 1, extruder 2, and so on. You had all these options.
If you have a tool changer with a lot of heads, can you use 2 boards in a machine?
You
No.
can. Yes,
well,
you can.
Well, you can, but the better way of doing that is you can actually get a controller box that actually has a lot more options in it, and then plug that into your board, and it does the work of and driving, and then the board just tells it what to do.
Oh, I get it. Okay, so all
So
the
on the
power.
really large printers, on the really big, heavy industrial printers,
Yeah.
they actually have multiple controller boxes,
Okay.
and these boxes you can actually run 6 steppers out of each one, right, or whatever, 6 or 8 steppers,
Okay.
and then that then just plugs into the board, and then the board talks to it, and it does all the
Okay.
work.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
like, and what I like with what Duet does is they've got like you have on your board, Tim. You've got that convenient, less expensive little expansion where you can get a couple more headers out of it, or you can use their tool boards, which are kind of like what Liam's talking about, and you can add as many of those in as you want to, and drive whatever it is that you're driving. You can drive. Your thing can be 19 axes if you want it to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the most important reason to buy the octopus, I would say, is the ducky.
Rubber ducky, you're the one.
You're a Sesame Street fan, I see.
And this is all labeled on the back. Holy cow.
So
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want to do. But if you want to add, as I said, IDEX, or if you want to do a tool changers or whatever, and you don't need more than, and you want to go up as far as 8, that's the way to go. If not, if you want to put a lot more on it, then an external stepper controller is where you want to go, and then run that into the board, and that do the work, and it takes all that pressure, and none of that voltage even has to go through the board, because those stepper controllers, the external ones, have their own power and everything on their own.
Okay.
Yeah, so it totally removes that off the board altogether.
Yeah, and if you look like on that octopus, it probably should have it where you've got it's got a power run for the driver, a power board for the control, or power run for the controller, another one for the heater. So you've got quite a few power runs. It's almost like
there's 8
it's outdoing the power supplies. The power supplies are going to start needing more terminals.
Yeah.
So you don't have to double and triple up the connectors under one screw.
It has 8 power ports on it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
2 of those are power in, but still.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to use them all. Depends on the features, but you at least have to have the drivers and the controller running.
Yeah.
This one has an antenna with it too.
Yeah, that's for the Wi-Fi, and you're going to use that, right? You're going to go on Wi-Fi or hardwire?
I'll probably Wi-Fi. I don't have an outlet down here.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to go Clipper, then Octopus is easy because there's a profile already. You can just load Clipper straight onto it.
Well, I'm not going to do Clipper to start. I'm going to do what they sent me, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I don't think Clipper has an officially supported Duet 3 Wi-Fi Mini build yet. I think they do for the 6HC. I think. And more stickers.
More stickers. I like stickers.
Yeah, they
then you'll get a
stickers.
You'll get a sticker in your Bondtech box. You'll get a sticker.
Yeah, the Bondtech sticker is cool.
Yeah.
But if you want to go Clipper, the Octopus is easy because it's already there. It's already built for it. It's easy to load it and be done with it.
Well, for the Rat Rig, the vCore OS already has the build set up for the SKR 1.2 Pro, and he just finished. Mikhail just finished, I think, the build for the Octopus, and he'll probably put that out soon if he hasn't already.
Oh, so he's going to do the Octopus then?
Right, and they're the Rat Rig vCore 3 specific builds of Clipper.
Nice.
So you've got all your configurations for whatever extruder you're using, whatever hot end you're using. They know, since it's they unless you're changing something from the stock components, all your voltages are already set up. Everything is there for you. a little bit different from doing the duet. There's gonna be a little bit more work putting in to set up the duet. A lot of it's copy and paste. Some of it, it might just be easier if I send you some script, Tim, that you can copy and paste in for some other features, depending on what you're using, like the filament runout sensor. I'll send you the code that you can drop in there for that.
Okay.
But everything else it's copy and paste.
Yeah, because that's the scary part of this whole thing to me, is getting the software up and working. So,
it's not hard. You go through the web configurator and you just set it up. You basically power on. It's going to be easier to do the software before you install it in the machine. So you're gonna plug it into your PC. You're gonna connect the Pi to it. You're gonna tell it how you're gonna do it online. It'll compile it for you. You write it to an image. You put it on your disk, on your SD card. You drop it in. You flash it, and then you have to go and manually set up all your configuration files. With Clipper, you've got one printer.cfg, I think is what it is, one or .g or whatever, and everything is in that one file. With Duet, you've got one for the bed, one for the mesh, one for the G32. You've got one for the is it one for the probe? The probe might be different. You've got one for homing X, home Y, home Z. So you've got 5 or 6 files that you've got to copy and paste into, because they give you that. But they tell you, here, go to your bed.g and copy and paste this in there.
Sounds pretty
if you've got this size bed. There's some. They give you the example for a 300. So we will have to make some changes so that it's got the right bed dimension or the right XY dimension. But it's not hard. It's not as fast as setting up the Clipper, because it's already done for you.
So when I flash it, do you have to do a full body flash, or just? No, I'm kidding.
We hope so.
I won't be watching that stream.
Yes.
Tune in live.
Yes, it's a full body flash.
Tune in live and watch me flash the printer.
You have to do the truffle shuffle to get it to work.
Truffle shuffle.
Oh man,
that's funny.
Wow.
Cool. Well, that'll be. I can't wait till you get to the software side of things. I think the interesting ones will be the software and the wiring.
Well, that's just it, and those will be the wiring. The wiring will be probably a longer part, because a lot of crimping and yada yada yada. I'm pretty sure I got the proper crimpers now, because when we were building the droids, I bought a few different crimpers, the good ones, like those. I forget the brand, but they were really good ones. So, yeah,
I think that the iWis, I think, is what you bought.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think those are probably.
So
what
type of crimping do you need? What kind of crimping do you need? You need to crimp the end of the power cables, so they're slip fit, right? They're slip fit.
Well, the board, the Duet board came with a whole pack of. So on the Duet board, here, I'll just put my close-up camera on here. Like, for instance, this came with basically a bag of these and a bag of these. So these
but you already got the cables already as well, didn't you?
No,
only stepper cables.
Oh, I have a stepper cable.
Put it all down yourself. Okay.
Yes. So everything else is going to have to be wired or extended.
I'm hoping I got the right gauge wire for this too. What did I get?
Like for power, for DC power, just something 14 or 16 gauge.
Yeah.
Silicon coated wire is fine. Your everything else is, I forget what it is, 14 or 16 if it's I think to the fan, because you're going to have to run some wiring to the print head for the fans, the heat, because none of those, a meter is just not going to be long enough, I don't think, if I remember right. Some of them might be, some of them might not be, but you're also going to want to consider too, like what I do is at the print head, I cut everything short and put connectors right there. I never have to go back or reopen, unless I'm adding something. I never have to reopen the cable chain or unwrap and rewrap.
That's smart.
Yeah, you just unplug the connector and then
Yep,
plug in the
right
new
there.
one.
It's a little more. It's a little more work up front, and if I need to change the heater, like E3D or Slice, they used to sell their heaters with a short cable and a
Right.
terminal. They don't do that anymore. Now you just get the long wire with nothing at the end, which kind of sucks. But you cut it, you crimp on what you need to crimp on, and you go from there.
Yeah, I think this is 14 I have, which would be work for the power.
Yeah, 14 should be fine.
But I've got to get. I've got to look and make sure I have the proper wire for everything else. I do have.
You'll need 16 for everything else, won't you? Anything that needs lighter gauge?
Probably 16 for everything else would work. Yeah.
I think so. 14 or 16. I look at your fan and just see if it's
right.
See if it says it on the wire, what's already on there, and match that, or go a little bigger. You can go one size up from there.
Like
that's
the hot
fine.
end fan, cooling fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just off the top of my head, I
They've got
can't
wire,
remember.
but obviously, yeah. Oh, yeah. Those. This is it's probably a much smaller gauge. There's the. Whoops. Oh, my camera.
Yeah, they're much smaller.
My close-up's frozen.
So it's going to be like 24, 26, I think.
Well, Dominic said he thinks there's already some pre-made looms available.
Yeah, you can go a couple places. I don't know anybody that's making, or at least I haven't found one that's making pre-made stock for the rat rig. I've seen some for Vorons, but not for rat rig. But you can still go to those same companies and say, hey, I want a custom, wire loom made, and these are the number of wires that I need. These are the sizes. These are the lengths. These are the ends that I need on them. Or you can say leave them bare. You can still do that, but
I'll just
you're looking at a couple $100 to have that made.
Yeah. I'll just get some 16 and 20, and wire's cheap. So I mean, I get the silicone, decent quality, but for the most part, wire doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll pick up a few packages of wire before I get to that stage.
Cool. So what is your schedule for this Sunday then?
This Sunday, I'm hoping. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm hoping, because that rat rig video they put out is great, by the way. They put out this week a video showing the build of this. So this Sunday, my goal, I'm starting a bit early, 5:30. We're doing a giveaway this Sunday. Let me just check something here. How many?
What's your giveaway?
Sorry?
What are you giving away?
Jason's going to donate something. John, Tripod's Garage, is going to do some filament. Jesse PLA. I'm doing. No, his is Canada or US only. I'm thinking of doing one of these for Canada and US, depending. But I'm giving away a set of Wera metric hex wrenches.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
They're beautiful. I bought myself a set. They're nice. So, so a few things like that.
Dum wants to know if you're Eastern time.
I am Western Mountain Standard Time. So Calgary, Edmonton.
In the U.S., he's that would be Central.
Yeah, in the U.S., I am same as Colorado and Denver.
Central.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this Sunday to get the X idler assembly done. That's not a long process, and then I'm hoping to get the Z motor mounts and the linear rails at least, and hopefully maybe even the X gantry. So,
I think you'll get the front idler assemblies, the XY idler assemblies done.
Yeah,
they go pretty quick as long as you don't drop the shims everywhere. You'll be okay.
Man. Well, I noticed in the video they cut out a lot of that, right? Because you can see him putting them, and then all of a sudden he's got it together.
There was there were a couple things like that where I was like, "Oh, I wonder how he's gonna." Oh, they cut away from it.
Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna use these tweezers a little bit to just push them in. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did.
But that's
magnets. Magnets are is always the safe way.
It helps, but they get in the way. You really don't have a lot of room when you're doing some of this assembly to hold a magnet,
on your surface,
hold the bolt.
I mean, on your surface underneath you. You can get this sheet magnets.
You're doing it on the printer.
Yeah, but I mean, but if you put a sheet magnet in there, when it falls, if anything falls,
Oh, it'll
Oh,
stick
I
to
see
it.
what you
You stick
mean.
the magnet and
Yeah,
you won't have to
I
go
got
stuck on the floor first.
Yeah,
So you
unless
get
they're aluminum.
the
Yeah.
rubbery, the kind of like rubber sheet that's
Yeah.
magnetic
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
just made inside underneath where you're working. So if it falls,
Yeah.
not going
That's
anywhere.
true.
I'll just put a
Assuming that
bucket
they're
there.
not assuming they're not aluminum parts.
Yeah, I'll just put a bucket underneath.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I can get through the XY idler assembly and the Z
That
motor
for
mount.
sure. You should be able to get the Z motors in. I'll tell you what. Print those two parts. Print two of each. For one at the top, at the bottom that I emailed you for the Z rod alignment. It's a whole lot easier than trying to measure it.
Yeah.
Because you don't really have a good angle. I know they showed that in their video. They had a right angle square with measurements, but if you don't have one, those parts, print them out and you basically clip them on and line it up.
I'll do that.
It's a whole lot better. Yeah, it's a whole
I'll
lot
print them
easier.
tomorrow.
Yeah. I think you'll get that done because that goes pretty quick. And the X gantry is just really you snap two sides on. Do your shim and pulley stack. Put the two bolts in it. The hardest part of that is holding it together. So if you've got some 50 mil bolts, they can be M3, M4, M5 is the best because it'll fit and it'll fit inside the hole better of those small parts. And you'll figure this out on Sunday. And I'll remind you if you've got some. You can take that bolt and go up through the bottom and put your stack together, and then take your actual bolt and go and slide it down through the top because it's hard to take a bolt down and make things stay.
Yeah.
So if you do it from the bottom and kind of build it up, and it's all lined up, and then just swap them through, makes it a whole lot easier.
I've got some 50 millimeter bolts left over from the droid builds.
Good. There you go.
Yeah. I think they're
the M3s.
M3 or M4.
Yeah. If you use the M3s or an M4, they'll kind of wiggle around a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's still a whole lot easier.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're also going to have to make the cable for your touchscreen to be long enough. Yeah, because if you use the one, I think when we originally talked about it, and I said, oh yeah, get the 150. The max you can use is 150 millimeter if you use the ribbon cable. So you're a lot further than that if you're at the front. So you're just going to make a 4-wire. You're going to make a 4-wire cable, and it's super easy. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Super easy.
Should be a good stream again on Sunday.
Yeah, it should be a little more interesting this time, and with the hard hat and the padding up here, I should be safe.
I'm telling you, you need to walk out when you say hi to everybody. You should be wrapped up in bubble wrap and say, "I'm ready for whatever comes this week."
I'll see what I got bubble wrap wise. I've got these. I got to place my cameras a little more strategically. I want to get my close-up camera on a better platform than resting it on the top of this.
Are they USB extension cables?
That's a USB extension. This one's called a USB active extender.
Okay, you need, if you go over 30 feet, you need the extender to activate.
Yeah, I've got the extender on one of my other cameras already, and then I figured they're only $25 or something, so I just bought another extender.
Yeah, I have a 60-foot USB cable.
Yeah, I think that's why. Let's see. Yeah, that's dead. I think that's why my close-up cam keeps dying because it's on a non-extender cable. So
yeah, so I use mine for is
I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay.
What I've used mine for is if I've set up my telescope outside and it was in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
I wanted to photograph a lunar eclipse. So I had my telescope set outside on my lawn, and then I wanted to run it over USB off my laptop. So I actually got the extender cable, ran it up in through my window into my living room. So I can be sitting nice and warm inside the house in my living room.
Nice. Okay.
While my telescope was outside in the freezing cold. So I didn't have to stand out there, but I was taking images.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, so that's what I got it for that. The powered ones really make a difference. and it worked fantastic. But eventually the cold takes over, and the electronics don't like really, really, really cold.
Yeah.
And Michigan can get horribly cold in January.
Oh yeah, we're like that here. I mean, it's we can get like I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but we can get down to -20, -30. I mean,
we've had -36 here.
Yeah, yeah.
And like there's no at that level of cold, there's no difference really. -20, -25 is almost -25 no matter what scale you use.
Yeah. Now in Michigan too, I grew up in Toronto, so you're on the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So and the winters out there are more are humid, and they're more the cold gets you. Can't explain it. It's the cold hits you deeper out there. Out here it's dry cold. It's more bearable.
Yeah, cold damp cold goes all the way through to the bone.
Oh yeah.
And then some. But when you reach a certain point of coldness, the dampness goes away because there's so much. It's so cold, the humidity cannot stay in the air, and it freezes and falls out of the air.
Yeah.
So
that's how. That's why.
Goes away.
Have you ever done that thing? I did it last year. If you have like a -30 day or -35, you take a pot of boiling water, you go outside, you throw it, and it's gone.
Create your own snow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gone. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It turns into snow is what it does. And it instantly, because when the particles go up and they spread out, they become basically a cloud. Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell people when you make ice, put hot water in your ice cube trays. It freezes faster. They look at me like I'm crazy. They say no. Yeah, and it does. So
laws of thermodynamics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to run, guys.
All right.
I got to go make sure the dog hasn't gotten into my dinner, which is chicken again today. So
if you eat any more chicken, you're going to grow wings.
I love chicken. I could eat it 7 days a week. I know.
I like it myself, but
yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for letting me hang out.
You're always welcome.
Yeah, I'm glad I could make it tonight. It was kind of nice for a change. Yeah. So we'll chat with you guys. If not before, we'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
See you then.
See you, Tim.
Cheers.
Take care, man. That's good. Nice to have Tim in.
Well, it's just us chickens left.
Yep. Chickens.
And all this talk of chicken, now I'm hungry.
Well, I had shepherd's pie for dinner, so I'm not hungry.
That's
yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do. The little one's at grandma's, so it's just us, which means I'm probably on my own.
1-800.
Right. Let's see what's in the. Let's see what they have an app for.
Yeah, there's plenty of apps, and they'll all deliver nowadays. They're all eager to delivery.
Yep.
You know, so or you can just go out and go. There's lots of places to eat in Vegas. I mean.
Yeah, not necessarily where I'm at. There's a few places that are open. When we moved here, the area was just really kind of being built out, so the fast food chains built up pretty quick. And even that, there's not that many. There's you can only get Pizza Hut until like a month ago. Then there's a local place called Carmine's that opened. There's Popeyes. There's I think a Jack in the Box in a gas station. A couple other things have opened, but there's not a whole lot of restaurants here. We have to do at least 15-20 minute drive to get to like a real good place to sit down.
I'm a 15-minute drive to the highway.
Yeah, well,
where I live, because where I'm living, I'm north of the highway, but I'm so far up away from the highway. Like I'm on the north side of the town that I live in, the city I live in, and I'm on the outer edges of it because like directly north of me is where the next town starts. Its outer edges start, and I'm right up by a state park. I back right up by the state park. So I'm a 30-minute drive south. Not 30. I'm about 15 minutes without traffic, just to hit the highway from my home.
Yeah, it's about the same for me because we're tucked in to the very south side. So it's the very end of the development. Right behind us is the national park and Sloan Canyon. You can't build there. You can't do anything. So that's that. If I want to get to the highway, it's about 12 minutes or so to get to the highway. And then anything else is about 15 minutes the other direction, if you kind of cut out going north versus southwest, to the highway.
Yeah, like, it used to take me 40 minutes or 45 minutes to get to my son's school. And until he moved to, did he go and start in high school? And now it's 15 minutes away. He's just on his high school is on the other side of the highway.
Nice.
So it's
Nice.
easier. It's much faster to get there. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's always long haul. A lot of stuff is long haul for me. The nice thing about where I live is I have a few state parks nearby me. And one of them, which is about 30 minutes drive away, roughly 35 minutes drive, my astronomy club has an agreement with the park that we do regular events there. So we have 24/7 access. We have keyed access to the state park. When they close the gates at nighttime, we have our own, we can actually go and open the gate and drive in whenever we want to.
That's good.
So we use the park a lot for astronomy events. And we do, and without all of these restrictions that are there right now, we do a lot of big public events out there for them. To the point that park is probably the biggest, or it is the biggest astronomy location for all the state parks in the whole state. We bring in, we average about somewhere between 15 and 20,000 people a year go there for astronomy.
Wow.
Yeah, we do an event each year. We didn't do it in the last 2 years, but we do an event in most normal years called Meteors and S'mores. And it's for the person around the time the Perseid meteor shower. The first year we did it, we got about 200 people in. The second year, about 1,000 people turned up.
Wow.
Year 3, 7,500 people turned up.
Wow.
And that's a lot of people. That's one night, and it's so bad that the park was completely jammed. I mean, every area in the park was jammed up. There was traffic jams. This park is on the south side of the freeway. And to get to the park, like if you're coming from the east, you have to come in and have to go over the freeway. You know, if you have an overpass. The traffic was jammed all the way from the park, the turnstiles, the gates to get into the park, all the way back across over the overpass, all the loop all the way around and back along the freeway just to get into the park.
Wow.
That's the type of stuff we deal with there. You know, and then we do another event called Astronomy at the Beach. That's a Friday night, a Friday and a Saturday, and that does about 4,500 to 5,000 people over 2 nights. But the Meteors and S'mores is huge. Yeah. I mean, there's no other state park, and other state parks do Meteors and S'mores. None of them bring in the numbers that we do at that park.
Wow,
it's unreal. Like they're even talking about. I've been in talks with the park. There's been considerations going on about putting in a permanent observatory right there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So we'd help design it, and then we did put in a permanent observatory, and then we'd be the key holders because we do all the astronomy events. So we'd actually manage it and run it, and even do some remote events, live streamed from the telescope in there out to the public. Wow. So we're working towards that. You see about 3 cars per day.
That's nice too.
You know, where are you based, George? I like my wife doesn't want to be too far from the city, so like where we live is kind of a compromise. If I had my way, I'd be in the butthole of nowhere, because better skies, right? I'd like to have a place with 30, like in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around me but farmers, farm fields, and I own a plot in the middle of all of that where there's no lights. You know, that would be my nirvana. And then I build oh, you're in Maine, okay. Well, Maine has pretty good. It can have some pretty secluded areas too, but and you have fantastic night skies there. But you get all the northeasters up there, and that doesn't make for nice weather sometimes, especially in winter. They get some really bad snow up there. All those northeasters come in there, they get some horrible snowfall there in winter, snowstorms. Um, but it'd be nice to. I'd like to eventually at some point have a place where I can have a permanent observatory. I'm working towards it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, cool. You're into astronomy then? Yes, no, maybe. We can geek out. You answered in about a minute, about 60 seconds by the time he gets it, because of the lag with YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have there's some high schools not near me, but there's some other high schools in the area that have observatories, and one of them we actually help them revamp it. Or you go to the open nights. Yeah, well, we actually run open nights for local observatories and for the parks. We actually do the public nights for all of them. But there is a high school in Dearborn, which is nearer to Detroit. We actually helped them refurbish. We actually worked with them to get the grants to refurbish it because it was there. It's an old observatory, and we actually refurbished it with all new equipment. It's all computer controlled now, and they can actually pipe it like during the daytime. We can actually pipe images of the sun straight to the classrooms from there. They have a channel, and then we can actually live stream to that channel in the school, and they can actually watch live on screen stuff going on in the sun because we have hydrogen alpha telescopes and all this kind of stuff, so they can actually see live what the telescope sees in the classroom.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool setup. But yeah, we worked with them and we helped them build that out. It's kind of fun. So you're getting ready for dinner, and I think I'm going to go get ready for bed because it's 10 o'clock at night. I need to take off some prints, load up the next batch for tonight, and get some, and then go to bed. Because I'm up at 5 a.m. in the morning because I have a son who has to get up and have breakfast and get out to school. So.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah, school days they affect our fun. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up with that, guys. For those who did, Jason, thanks for sticking on the long run.
Yeah.
And to everybody else who came on throughout the evening, it was fun. Good conversation, as always. Not very as diverse as we often do, but it was still good. And I can't wait for them Tim's Rat Rig build. I think it's going to get more and more interesting because he's getting into the more complex parts of it now. So it's going to get more and more interesting, more and more fun. Have a good night, Nanfam and George and Old Curmudgeon and Dum Dum and whoever and Dominic and whoever else is hanging out there still. I think we have 6 people still out there. I think I named 4 or 5 of the 6. So I don't have an unboxing this week unless something turns up between now and Friday, which could happen. I don't know. And if not, I will definitely be here next Wednesday at same time, 7 p.m. US Eastern, to do a hangout. And if anything does come in, make sure you like, subscribe, and ding the bell of the channel so I'll let you know when something does come in and I'll post up an event. Okay? Again, thanks, guys, for hanging out here. And remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay printing. Good night, guys. Have a good one.
Good night.